So many families across Canada have been helped by the Sandra Schmürler Foundation, helping babies in crisis right across Canada. It's Sandra Schmürler Day on TSN. Just a 20-minute drive from downtown Calgary. WinSport opened in 2011. We were here for the Scotties in the bubble not too long ago, but fans are back and we are back and excited for an exciting weekend of curling. It all began this morning, our first weekend at the Scotties, opening Sunday, draw 4. It was New Brunswick taking on Nova Scotia. Heather Smith back at the Scotties for the first time since 2014. Jill Brothers, the final stone on the team. Bang, away it goes in an extra end and a win. And a high five for Nova Scotia as they pick up the victory 10-8 in an extra end. Meantime, Jennifer Jones, we know it's her last Scotties and she's putting on a show early, 14-4. She wins and remains perfect this year in Calgary. BC and Grandy over Galusha, 10-5 there. And Rachel Homan, the three-time Scotties champion, she made the final in the bubble here a couple years ago, 11-4 versus Ontario in that Battle of Ottawa. So we'll update you now. Pool A, you can see Sturmay, Einarson, and Ackerman, all 2-0. Pool B, Grandy, Jones, Homan off to great starts. Keep in mind, 3 from each pool will qualify. No tiebreakers, so those head-to-heads are important, and the draw to the button also very important as well. Come on inside WinSport. Glad you're watching our coverage on TSN. It is the opening Sunday at the Scotties. Brian Mudryk, Rush Howard, and Scotties champion Joanne Courtney. So, Joe, a lot of storylines coming in. What have you noticed through the first couple days here?
I think right now, Brian, no one is exactly looking super comfortable out there. We've seen some lopsided scores, but I still feel like this competition is wide open for whoever can get their feet under them first.
Carrie Einarson, obviously a favorite, winning 4 times in a row. Crazy. I had a good chat with Reed Carruthers, their coach. It was a very difficult 24 hours for him and the team. He said the toughest 24 hours in his coaching career. He also said, Russ, that leaning on the 5th that does come into this competition in Kristen Karwacki was a huge help to him for support, his sister-in-law. How do you think the team responded to start?
It was unbelievable. What went down, we know, a couple hours just before game 1, it was just unbelievable performance. The intensity was there, the confidence was there. They were going to go through broken glass to win that game. I didn't see that in game 2, Joe. They looked flat. They won the game, which is fine, but they brought their C game. They were flat. I didn't see the intensity. They'd make half shots and giggle a little bit. They have to have some intensity to beat this Alberta team.
The last time Alberta won in Alberta at the Scotties was Chelsea Carey, Grand Prairie in 2016. Now, Joe, there's a lot of curling to come, but Selena Sturmay, what a start so far here in her home province.
Yeah, it's been a dream start for the team. Won a close game in their opening draw, looked really dominant in their second one. And if they can come out with a strong performance today, Brian, that's going to set them out great for the rest of the week. If you get by Canada here, you're all of a sudden looking at the top spot if you're Alberta.
So it is a Scotties rookie. Team Alberta taking on Carrie Einarson. Their team looking for an unprecedented 5th straight Scotties title. First draw, please.
We've been so successful because we don't get complacent. We're always looking to be better and stay at that top level, and we're just always working to be the best.
Every time I get the chance to represent my province, I do it with a lot of pride, and to be Team Alberta in Alberta and have all of our friends and family here supporting us, cheering us, means everything.
The 2024 Scotties Tournament of Hearts is presented by Scotties Facial Tissue. Unleash the Scotties. By Home Hardware. Here's how. By PointsBet, the official sports gaming partner of Curling Canada. And by BKT Tires, growing together.
It's great to be back in Calgary for this year's Scotties. With more on this afternoon's draw, let's bring in our Kathy Gauthier.
Well, PEI's Jane DiCarlo is going to take on Corinne Brown. Corinne winning last night is going to want to keep that momentum going. Krista McCarville looked very confused with the ice last night. In her loss to Carrie Einarson, is going to want to sort out ice and stones. She takes on one of the stories this week, 22-year-old Skylar Ackerman, who has given up fours in both of her games but fought back to win. And finally, Laurie St. George lost Friday night, had to sit out all day yesterday with a bye and ponder that. She takes on Stacey Curtis from Newfoundland and Labrador.
Great stuff, Kathy. Time to meet the teams that are featured. Brought to you by Home Hardware. Here's how. We begin with Team Alberta out of the Savo Community Sports Center in Edmonton. It is Selena Sturmay, Danielle Sheeman, Desiree Haas, and Paige Papley. And the defending champs, Team Einarson, Team Canada at lead, Kristen Karwacki. Second, Shannon Burchard. At third, Val Sweeting. And your skip is Carrie Einarson for Team Canada. Great to have you on this Sunday afternoon. There's your rock colors, as well as Team Alberta able to earn hammer against Team Canada. Yellow stones to Team Canada, the red stones belonging to Team Alberta. So to kick things off, it is the lead, Kristen Karwacki, as she throws the lead stones. If you're just joining our coverage on TSN, Brianne Harris ineligible to compete, so she has stepped in and has done a wonderful job, Russ, considering the circumstances.
Unbelievable. The first game, like I said in the opening, was off the charts. You could have expected a train wreck, to be honest, and they were ready to go, and all four of them were playing well. Again, not as sharp last night, but the four draws to the button, every single one was within about a half an inch of the pin, and not good enough for Team Canada.
And Joe, that's critical with the rule changes, catching up to the World and the Olympics. There's no tiebreakers anymore. It is your head-to-head matchup is so critical. Make the top three, and then it comes down to that draw to the button before each and every game.
Yeah, and it really puts a lot of pressure on the teams early. If you happen to have a rock come up short or go long in that last stone draw, every single result counts at the end of the week, except for the two worst ones. The two longest distances get dropped. Otherwise, everything counts, and they throw two of them before the game.
Time for the keys to the game, Russ. Let's start with Team Canada.
Well, second to none, 5-time Scotties champion Shannon Burchard. As usual, we talk about how great this wonderful player is. 14% better than Desiree at the second stone position. Yes, it's early, but that's where the difference can be made for Team Canada. And draw master, if Carrie Einarson can draw, she can win. Her draw percentage so far this week, 93%. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Keys for Alberta, Joe.
You know, we've seen a very confident skip in Selena Sturmay, and she's a product of the University of Alberta's Pandas and Golden Bears program, and they have a very strict playbook with their strategy. They're sticking to it, and she's just using that to gain more and more confidence as the event goes on. And Sturmay all day. We saw her in the opening draw in the last end. Could have gone either way for the shot to be played, and she chose what she felt most comfortable with, playing a draw, even though her coach didn't really like it. Stuck with that. And I think you got to keep that rolling.
Keys to the game brought to you by Cashmere Bathroom Tissue. Nothing feels like Cashmere.
I love that timeout they called Alberta, and it just came down to a skipper, and she said, I feel like I want to draw, and she made it and won the game.
Yes, go, 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 go. Okay, go, bro. What did you say, 13-6? Yeah. Make a roll. I think we still play the roll.
First shot.
Yeah. We still roll.
But I think we still do that.
Normal?
And get it. I like here.
Got it.
Joe, you competed at the highest level. You've won this championship. I don't know what you can say when you're Shannon Burchard and you show up and in 5 Scotties you make 5 finals and you've won 5 times.
It's so hard to wrap your mind around what that means. It's a marathon of an event. To have that kind of stat is just outstanding. I don't think we're ever going to see that again, Brian.
Not to bring it up, Russ, but what were you in finals?
How about those Blue Jays?
You could at least go hockey, bro. Blue Jays are a ways away. But, I mean, to the point, it's so hard.
2 for 6.
Joe?
1 for 5.
It is. I mean, listen, I'm teasing, but I'm not, because you played at the highest level. You both did. You dream of playing in the competition, and then you get to a final. And I mean, there's always going to. You talked about it pregame, Russ, just in our chat before the show. There's going to be good teams every year in the playoffs and the final.
You're playing in the Scotties or Briar final. You're playing one unbelievable team, and even if they're not maybe the best team all year, they're so hot at that point in time, or they wouldn't be in the final.
Not a best of 7. It's a one-game winner take all.
Yeah, for me, it's just the way that Shannon rises to the occasion. The pressure's on, and she plays better, and those types of athletes are the most special to watch. Doesn't matter. She didn't have any experience going into her first Scotties, played third for Jennifer Jones and won it. It was amazing.
Unbelievable. Got a tough one here, though. A little fresh pebble down here. You got to get a half an inch of this thing to make the double.
It's fine, Kristen.
Wow.
It's so easy to do. The out turns just off the line. Any kind of straightening on the release motion, you'll see it float right back off the line. You could tell as soon as she let it go, she knew that wasn't coming back.
That shot's probably made day one. You know, the rocks were sanded before the competition. There a little bit of grab to them. We noticed a little slower speed, a little more curl. Now they're calming down a little bit. It might have made a difference there. I thought they'd play the run back, Joe.
I did too. Nose, and you're sitting too buried.
Yeah. At least kill one of them. That was a tough shot.
It feels that heavier underfoot still here. Hey, back Scottish. You got it.
Looking for a little rearrange here now. Russ, don't want to leave the same shot twice for Team Canada.
That's a really veteran call.
Yeah.
Most teams just go open side.
Back four. You're tracking. Back 8.
Special for Alberta to be playing in their home province. Special for Desiree Haas, who just came to Calgary now. Engaged to Tyler Tardy, who plays for Kevin Cooey's team. And she was at the Scotties in that bubble 2021, competing with Corin Brown and BC, a 4-4 record that year.
Yeah, I heard an interview. Danielle Schmiemann said, you know, we thought it'd be a nice welcome to the province gift, an Alberta jacket for Desiree.
How, no kidding, right? How cool is that?
Sorry? Didn't curl as much as she thought, I think. Okay.
They were calling for back 12 weight on that rearrange. Her weight was perfect, just didn't quite curl as much. A little bit of a misread on the ice there. We saw those rocks really taking off in early ends in previous draws. We'll have to keep an eye on that, Russ.
Yeah, they had way too much ice at the end of it all. Now with the lefty here, this intern.
Curl.
Oh, she's pumped it out too. Normally I was going to say Val's intern would curl a lot more than Shannon's out.
Okay.
A couple unforced errors has the crowd murmuring here on this Sunday afternoon.
Now that they've missed twice, Brian, I can do the old, hindsight 2020. Why not run back that yellow one? If you make it, great. If you miss it, you open it up. Now you've got a really easy race.
The only thing I can think of, Russ, is we watched them last night. They were having trouble connecting on their run backs. So
that's true.
Maybe Carrie's thinking mix it up a little bit.
Where's that 12-9? Oh, I know. Oh, I got.
Danielle Schmiemann, and what a run she had in the bubble as well. She teamed up with John Morris in the Canadian Mixed Doubles Curling Championship right here on this ice. They were fantastic together, won a bronze medal, so she'll have some good vibes going here at Winsport.
Backboard. Whoa. Curl.
And applying some pressure, little tap. And what a job early from Alberta. Home ice, first end with hammer, and the heat on Team Canada.
A really nice weight control there by Danielle. Those taps you sometimes tend to overthrow. And they went to school on the broom there too. Perfect line.
Did they ever? Pretty good spot. If you could ever get to the inside, there's a triple, but I don't think you can.
7-8 tie.
Yeah, so they're going to go high side. That would make a double.
Val was 89% in last year's final.
Yes.
In that win versus Jennifer Jones, the 4th in a row for this team. She'll stick to 1 red top 4, but 2 red will go.
Good result.
Yeah, left her shooter in a nice spot. It's accessible. Still work to do though for Team Canada.
You made a final with Val in Montreal. How much just have you seen in her growth and development? Obviously a skip for you and what she's meant to this team over the years.
Yeah, there's always something special about Val. I got to play with her for 3 years, and she just has the greatest demeanor on the ice. She loves curling so much, and to see how much she's flourished into one of the best thirds in the country and in the world, it's just wonderful to see. Loves this game. It's everything to her.
Let's go to the open side here. That will leave a short run, possible double to be buried for Carrie Einarson. That could be problematic for Alberta.
Hey, you got room right now. Close.
A little slower here, Joe, do you think?
They've seen it once. They went to the wing early this end, so they'll have a good idea. Second down the line usually runs a bit better.
Back 12. It's not curling.
I think you're right.
Hard Val. Go, go, go. Further. Go, go, go. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
And that might give Team Canada a little breathing room here now to try and get out of a bit of a jam.
Somebody sitting at home goes, how can they miss the rings after a 10-minute practice? But you know better than anybody. Maybe that's picked up 3 feet, 4 feet in that spot.
Yeah, and they said it wasn't really curling. That didn't move as much as they expected it to. If it moves a little earlier, it gets into some fresher stuff and probably comes down.
Talked to Marcel Rock and my brother at the same time this morning, and I asked them, is it getting a wee bit dished? It's a little harder to tell from up here, and they said exactly right. So that, to your point, to the corners, inside out to the corners is getting a little bit straighter, therefore a little bit quicker.
Yeah, usually it's a safe bet to throw a bit extra in the first end, because in practices, no one throws in the middle. Everyone's going towards the button and staying out in the wings.
We know it's Sandra Schmürler Day here on TSN, helping babies in crisis, and the award named after her, the playoff MVP. Well, this woman right here knows all about winning that championship 3 times, 4 times Scotties champ, 5 finals already for Carrie Einarson. Skip Stones here in 1, trying to get out of some trouble here, Team Canada. Bang the yellow, she'll clip the 1 red.
That was a chance, though. You know, half a rock, you make the double sit 2 buried.
Yeah. Or do you try and loop? Or you try? I guess like if you're half.
I'm still freaking fighting that intern.
We probably have to be here because if she rolls, she's gonna be shot otherwise.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking kind of here-ish.
Okay.
But
okay, I'm good with that if you like that.
Wouldn't go too wide.
It's whatever you feel better with draw weight.
Nobody's playing
Nobody's
this.
playing this. Yeah. Okay, let's do this then.
Think there.
Try and get it back 4
8.
depth.
Yeah. Back 4, back 8.
Okay. My line probably would have been good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there.
You got it.
I like this call. Keep the play away from the 4-foot, Russ.
Oh, yeah.
You could think about coming around wide around the yellow rock at the top of the 12-foot there, but then that leaves a raise for Carrie Einarson.
Do you like
Or the red come around your own, but you don't have enough room to sink it.
You're thinking like edge for the tap?
Edge of what?
Like edge of 8, not edge of 12.
Yeah, yeah, because it'll be just a hair wider than
She won that in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, beating BC's Sarah Daniels 9-6 in that final. 2-time U Sport champion out of the University of Alberta, where a lot of great curlers have come out of. Her, Brendan Botcher, that great Joanne Courtney player. I had to settle for the Nate Ooks just down the street with Jules Ochar, but that's me.
You're a pretty good coach, though.
Excellent coach.
Like even her back.
But he wasn't a miracle maker, unfortunately.
Like it ran.
Yeah, so here I am in the broadcast booth.
Should be pretty close.
And really slipped through Alberta's fingers there. They had a chance to sit 4 at one point, and now all of a sudden, opportunity here for Carrie Einarson to put some pressure on. She could make a really good tap here and might even set herself up for a steal.
You guys like the tap?
Yeah.
Good call, too. You could play the run back. If you chip out your own, you're giving up 3. So their yellow is very safe for Team Canada, so why not just tap this up?
Do you like that broom or a hair more?
I don't hate a pinch more.
A little more, Val?
Yeah.
Be careful here. Remember, Alberta missed one way wide here with back 8 weight.
13-2 even. Yeah. You got it.
It is early in the week, obviously, but her first little tap shot attempt this week.
Back 4, back 8. Yep, for line.
Whoa!
Back 8. Back 8. Whoa! Whoa, close. Whoa, back 8. Really
Hit
close.
it thin! Thin!
Yep.
Four.
Yep, you're heavy. Back 8. Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Whoa!
Little tap, grazes the red. That is shot stone, top 4. But a little port available.
Weight was perfect, hey?
It's a hit for 2.
Really nice throw.
Shoot.
Just took that extra ice at the end. Remember, Alberta was wide there too.
I think they might have expected that to come up a bit more at the end, Russ. We were seeing a lot of late finish in the previous draws.
Exactly.
Saying hit it thin, maybe a little bit heavy, but that was significantly thinner than they wanted.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, okay.
There's no, the angles aren't there. I'm just looking. Maybe you come out, turn from our TV angle, tap the yellow, and hold your shooter for 3. That's not there, is it? I don't think it's lined up.
No,
Yeah,
I don't
no.
think so.
Shot for 2 is there, though. Quiet weight tap.
Know the spot too. Chances are this is getting pretty slick down here by now, and maybe a hair straighter.
Whoa.
Great opportunity. The home province on home ice. Scotties in Calgary on this Sunday afternoon. Final stone. Selena Sturmay on the way.
Curl. Straight. Curl. Curl. Straight.
Oh.
The audible. You'll take it if you can make it. She had the shot missed, caught the rub, and picks up 2. Yeah, that's that smirk, isn't it? Bit of a smirk. That's all right, though. You need breaks. It's a long week. Just a reminder, Team New Brunswick answering the phones on Sandra Schmürler Day here on TSN, helping babies in crisis. Glad you're with us from Calgary. Welcome back to Calgary. Team Alberta, a 2-0 lead. All right, Joe, your team, Einarson, Team Canada, and that happens to you, a bit of a lucky one. How do you respond as a team? What's going on the ice? What's going through your head there?
It's frustrating when that happens, especially the end wasn't going their way. They had a chance to get out of it. That should have been a miss, and you get your steal. That would have been a huge momentum swing. So they're leaning on their experience now. They have to park that and let it go and just move forward.
Fighting's okay.
Following their year all year, and I listened to an interview Carrie did, and she was kind of commenting, saying, yeah, it hasn't quite been going our way. They've been in the mix. They qualified in all of their bonspiels, made some semis, lost one final. And she said, we're not getting the breaks. So then when a break happens right in front of you to the other team, that can be pretty deflating.
That's the honor of that Team Canada jacket, though, isn't it, Joe? Everyone is coming. They don't care. They're coming at you hard each and every game, and I guess that's the privilege of being the 4-time champ consecutive.
Yeah, it's a tough spot for them. I mean, their record in Scotties alone is just insane. And so every single game they play, if they lose, it's an upset. That's hard to do every single day going into that setting.
You could play that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only way we're getting under that corner. So
Yeah, I don't
team's
mind that
tough.
one.
What?
I don't mind playing this one.
That's the call. If you're going to hit one, you can't make the doubles. You're going to hit one of them. Why not hit the one that's closest to the corner guard? Get in behind that yellow. That's the plan.
Yeah, and you heard them say we're never getting around that corner. If you look at it, playing center line out, it's almost impossible to come around that corner because you're going to hit one of those guards.
It's funny how
The curl.
you very rarely see people go wide side.
Yeah, I love wide side there. That's definitely there. It's just a wild guess what you got to
Sure.
throw in the weeds.
Yep. Yep. Hard.
Gotta go. Hard, Tristan. Dig. Hard.
Does get the one to go.
A little narrow.
Kathy, what's up on sheet D?
Well, Laurie St. George tried to make it double on her first, Muddy, and just got one, and that allowed Stacey Curtis to draw the second point in. And so this is the 4 she's facing 2, looking to hit and stick on a stone in the 4-foot.
Curl.
Remember seeing Laurie St. George and the then Canadian juniors, now the under 21s. She came on the scene. So much potential, and she's brought that now to the Scotties level, and they're fighting hard. They want to make the playoffs this year, looking for their first win, and one on the board against Team Newfoundland and Labrador.
Yeah, tough position for them. Underperform on the first day, get that loss, and then a whole day off with the bye. They want to start building some momentum.
Adding Jamie Sinclair as well to the roster.
Yeah, that's a big change. And we always assume that new player is going to make the team instantly better, but there's always going to be growing pains there. And this team doesn't play a ton on tour.
Okay, pretty thin. Here.
You could probably get at that shot rock with such a long guard, but Carrie, she tends to think hit first, and there's nothing wrong with this. Open it up.
Great shot.
Little bonus clip in the 4.
No kidding. Just get it behind the tee line. It helps a lot.
Good call. Thanks. Good throw. Thanks. Yeah.
This is interesting, Russ. We watched it. Oh, and look at this. This catches on the way by.
That works.
Little clip, gets it off the top of the 4-foot. The body language helps too. I'm just saying, Russ, this is interesting. We watched this Alberta team in their first draw, and they were up early on Caitlin Laws, and similar situation played out. They ripped the guard off and played it safe. Today they want to keep the pressure on. They're putting a centerline guard back up.
The red guard, there's 2 guards out there too, so getting one of them, it might be tricky to, you might see Canada duck around it. But yeah, I love the offense. There's no question about it. How else do you beat a 4-time defending champion?
Yeah, they played appeal when there were 2 guards in play, so I just a little bit of a change to that playbook.
I don't think he's really saying much. Okay, I'm missing like a good. I only have 3/4 of it. Do you ever hit and roll the other?
Yeah, I don't love this call either.
But what else do you like?
Yeah,
Just
I just
control
don't
the
know
front,
if I
get the
there
top
with
one.
Control, maybe a bumper.
Open up
Can you
both
roll on
corners.
the top?
What?
Okay, you got it, Val.
Yeah.
Like that?
Or the other
I
way?
don't know if we can roll on.
Okay.
You can go that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind that.
Just roll
Okay.
Summer like wide open, and then that allows you to get to that back one later.
Okay, you got it.
We talked about Shannon and history, 5 for 5 in winning Scotties titles. So impressive when you look down the list at the great players over the years. Vera Pezer won 4 titles in her first 4 appearances. Burchard 5 for 5, and she's not even 30 years old yet.
Whoa. Don't pull it. Yes. Yep. Whoa. 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 Roll. Ah, shoot. 9-6.
Okay.
Not sure.
I think it's just a little less finish at the end today. So you don't normally see line calls missed like that by Team Canada.
If it's dished a little bit, once you get inside that dish, maybe that 4-foot strip, you're not going to get that move, but you're right. They thought they had that one.
We definitely saw this morning, Brian, when we were covering the game that we did, that it was straighter. Both Inglis and Homan got caught early in taking the ice that they did yesterday, and they didn't get the results. So that is carrying through.
Really tight. Yep, curl. Keep going. Just above your broom.
Keep rolling, Kathy. Sheet P, what's going on?
Just on my monologue. Well, it's really difficult to tell on the right side as you look at it who is second shot. On her first, Veronica Maines, who throws the final stone for PEI, was trying to hit to lie potentially too, but rolled too far. And so Corinne was trying to bury around a center guard, but 3/4 at least open to Veronica. So a hit for sure is for 1 and maybe 2.
Yep. Whoa. Good. That's good. That's good. I didn't look, but 2.
On the nose. And we'll confirm that is it indeed 2.
Yeah. One for sure. We're gonna measure.
Sounds like a measure. So we'll let you know. When they know, we'll tell you at home. 1 for sure, and possibly 2 with the measure to come.
Yeah, go for it.
T.
Whoa. Good shot.
Nice judging.
Good spot. Did she say a time? I think I It's 13-9.
Just a hair deeper than they wanted it to be.
I like that. I got it.
That rock is just a rock higher, touching T-line or ideally just top 4.
By Val Sweeting rolling out on her first one, that allowed Alberta to throw a guard, and now you're playing down the dead center. You've shrunk your own scoring area by rolling out. So yes, Val's in a pretty good spot, but gonna have tough to get 2 in there if this is made.
I mean, I never threw in a good drop path in any other game, but that felt what I thought like good, like decent.
Yeah.
Not sludgy like practice.
Okay.
And it also appeared to slide better because
Yeah.
we went behind the tee, so.
Line's good.
I think we're close.
T-line. Line's good.
We're there.
Close.
Yep.
Yeah, line.
Gotta go. It's coming off a lot.
Really hard line.
Hard.
They got to go for everything here.
Okay, whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
It just came right off.
15-9.
Yeah, that fooled everyone. There was no panic out of the hand.
No.
Maybe. I really liked it out of your hand. It just stopped.
I didn't like that. I don't like that rock. Okay.
You hear the rock talk. You also heard Val talk about
didn't
sludgy
think I was-
in the middle as well. So we'll keep an eye on that situation.
Very true. It's one or the other.
Hey guys, I'm thinking like a 14-5.
BC a 3-2 advantage over Prince Edward Island. So they did measure. It was 2 for PEI. Saskatchewan a 1-0 lead over McCarville, Northern Ontario, and Quebec, Newfoundland, and Labrador in a 1-1 score.
Krista McCarville had a short angle raise to score 3 and didn't quite make it to give up the steal.
Team Canada won't like that hammer efficiency, only converting 17% of the time. Teams are usually looking for anywhere between 50 and 60%.
Becky. Yeah, get it out of there.
Or a 3 or broom.
You are. Never mind.
Boy.
Okay.
Threw it that heavy.
13-3. Okay.
And it's so simple from up here, Brian, but if you're going to miss, try to miss it the right way. If that's short, how does Sturmay get in there? Now, a really well-placed freeze.
Like Danielle's last was 16.
Well, that spot, I mean, you heard both teams kind of shaking their heads in conversation.
Slightly bigger kick. What do you think?
If Sturmay's got a slow rock, this hog-to-hog timing can throw you off because they're going, well, it was 16 there. It's slowing down in that spot. Maybe it's the rock that slowed down. I think it caused Kerry to whip that thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy, too, with the rocks, though, Russ. If you think even remotely that you got a bad rock, then get rid of it, because then it's in your head, no matter, even if it's not a bad rock.
So true.
Mentally, that might help you out. And
No, exactly. See, that's running just like Canada's.
And that is not slowing down either.
13-7.
All right, a couple misses, but let's bring you the key shot, brought to you by BKT Tires, growing together from last end.
Well, a key move was an audible here about 3/4 of the way down. we kind of thought, Joe and I thought it was a pretty quick spot. It might dig. She might miss this wide. She was going to miss it wide. All of a sudden, they decide to straighten it out a bit. Gets the redirect. Takes the 2 out of nowhere.
How do they score that one, the judges? You get 5 out of 5? You made the shot.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
whoever was the line caller should get more bonus points.
So fair to say, it's still early, but both teams not quite sharp yet. Regardless, a chance here for Kerry Einarson.
This isn't light either, Brian.
It's almost like they're all in a gutter here, along that straight line.
Or Sturmay's got a slow one.
There's backing if they can get there, but it's just not going to carve or stop in time. Wow. Frustration on both sides in that end. Still trying to figure things out. Now is Alberta a 2-1 advantage over Team Canada. Sandra Schmürler Day here on TSN. Awesome to see everyone involved in helping. And Jennifer Jones's mom as well. Welcome back to our coverage. The Scotties Tournament of Hearts, the 43rd edition. It all began in 1982 in Regina with Kruger coming on board and a wonderful sponsorship. This year's edition here in Calgary. And there is Kristen Karwacki, who has stepped in. Brianne Harris named ineligible to compete in the competition. In talking to Reed Carruthers, Joe, this is obviously not only a great player, it's his sister-in-law as well, and he said there wasn't a better person that could possibly have slid in and been a massive support for this team right now.
Yeah, and the one thing you want in a moment like this is consistency, and that's Kristen to a T. She's been with this team through the great Scotties wins. She's been with the team when there's been struggles at Worlds, so she's very familiar with the roller coaster that is the Scotties, and that's exactly what you want, and they've got a great bond, the two of them. They're related. It's a sister-in-law. That's the thing. Curling, it's such a small team sport that one different player, we call it a new team as soon as one player is introduced. So this is the best case scenario in a really tough situation for Team Canada.
You know, you talk to Reed, though, he was just built to be a teacher and a coach, just his demeanor and how he is. And you know, emotionally, I know he's had a lot going on. He's got a new little one, and he just won provincials and had his little baby on the ice with him, going down the ice for the very first time, and got to watch Dad play in his first ever game, and will be off to the Brier, obviously, as well. So he's done a real wonderful job, and, you know, a rock for this team. And, you know, we talk a lot about, and you guys can speak to this, the support staff, and a lot of the time it's, you know, the coach or the fifth that's getting snacks and is being positive, but in this situation, on this team, it has been way more than that, Russ, hasn't it?
Oh, no kidding. And you said built to be a teacher. It's unbelievable. And a lot of coaches, when there's a timeout called, are doing what Reed's done forever. He walks out, he gives his opinion. There's maybe two options. I'm thinking I go this way. What do you think? You know, whereas before it's like, you know, it tends to be this discussion forever until they rip you off the ice.
Kathy?
Well, he's giving a lot, but he's also getting a lot. And we talked to him at the points bet earlier this year, and by being in the building every draw, he watched the ice every draw. And if you remember, they wound up winning it. He learned a lot. These rocks are going to the Brier. They've been refinished. No one has a rock book on them. He is going to take more intelligence out of this event to the Brier than perhaps he would have otherwise. So he's giving a lot to them, but he also is very vocal that he gets much back.
Curl. Keep going, keep going. Try and roll it. Okay, that was 7-8. Not firm.
Yeah.
Did you not play mixed doubles with Reed?
Sure
as well?
did.
Yeah, you guys were a big reason that Canada qualified. So you have a good relationship and know him very well as well.
Yeah, he's just got a great, I would say, tenacity to him. When we won that mixed doubles nationals, he was the one that kind of convinced me it was going to happen. He was so fired up, and he just had this amazing belief, not only in himself, but in me too. And he's very infectious with that. Which would make him an amazing coach.
Canada's not in the mixed doubles Olympics.
If not for you guys.
Not for you guys.
Good job.
9-7.
Alberta lies too with Hammer in the third.
It's a great precision roll from Alberta. I've seen teams struggle a little bit with precision hitting. They look easy on the screen, but it's just they're still filling out the ice and finding the right weights.
With the guard being high, I like the freeze over removing it.
Bumper.
I just think they'll be able to chase it because the guard's high. I'd rather freeze.
Carrie, she thinks hit all the time. Not that she can't draw, we know that for sure, but it's a good call.
Kathy, update time. McCarville, Ackerman on sheet C.
Well, that yellow stone that you see, that was the final stone thrown by Skylar Ackerman, was trying to corner freeze to really take away any Hearts potential for Christopher too, but it didn't curl quite enough. So this will be a soft weight shot. Try to get just to the inside and tap it back for two.
I like it.
Kathy, Krista had a pretty makeable shot last time for 3.
See, that's my job.
Oh.
You have a game.
You've had a lot of jobs this week.
But you're absolutely right. Skylar made a wonderful hit and roll across, and it was maybe a 2-foot run back, Rusty, and overthrew it a little bit. It hung out, and she picked it across the top. So certainly advantage to Ackerman at that point.
Whoa, yeah, sorry.
Oh, no.
Okay, 1 red.
It has been a struggle today for Krista.
Oh.
Unusual.
Yes.
Kathy, they are going with the 5-player rotation as well. I talked to Krista before the championship and how they've been knocking on the door. So many finals, so close right there. And they said adding Andrea Kelly was the key. They figured that could be the difference to try put them over the top.
Russ, did you just hear what she said? She said, it's so frustrating, I have no feel. You're a coach. What do you tell a player that has no feel?
Yeah, well, you know what I would do? It's hard to do in the actual game, but shut your eyes on a draw. Just get the feel back. Just you know, if she has a free one somewhere, not you know, a tough one like that.
I'm also
just start
kicking too hard, so I'm not.
You get mesmerized by the line.
So I could do this.
Talking to longtime coach and
Even back 8.
guy you know well, Brier champ, world champ, and Rick Lang.
Yeah, Rick. Boy, he's been there, done that with everybody. National coach too. He's the perfect guy there. I was saying last night, Brian, we talked about the best field ever here with the top 8 in Canada. I would argue it's the best coaching field ever.
Gotta go. Hard. Keep going. Keep going. Yep.
Whoa.
That's really interesting for us. They were
Aggressive
calling,
call.
yeah,
It was fine.
just took off on them. Her first ball through, she was trying to corner freeze. It just perfect weight didn't curl up enough, and that one over curled by a foot.
Yeah,
I
just
figured
had
it
to
would
be
be.
patient on my first one. We got to give those a chance. I said felt close out of my hand.
Yeah.
And like top 12 buried was better than where it went.
It's a really good point Pal brings up, Brian. It's the rocks have just been reconditioned, so rotation makes a massive difference. You know, you see somebody like a Holman with 6-7 spins on a draw. Val felt she had more on one, less on the other. It makes a big difference. Could be a good foot difference in line on a draw shot.
Joe, Shannon and Brianne, I mean, so great for so long, working as a combination. What are they missing in not having Brianne here with all the talent that she has?
Yeah, for the front end, it's that tandem. You spend years and years building that dynamic of who's seeing it, who's sweeping when, both two heads working together. And Kristen, she plays front end herself. She plays lead on our team out of Saskatchewan. So she'd be a great judge and all that, but it takes time to find that chemistry and that trust in each other. So you assume Shannon's probably feeling like she has to take a lot of it on herself right now.
And remember last year, I think she walked over, gave her the MVP. I mean, playing the way she was, pregnant, and the job that she did. And worth noting, like, what she means to this team.
Yeah, and Brianne is the glue in my eyes after watching them. She's always so positive, and it's easy to get, you know, dragged down. It's so intense in the moment if things aren't going your way. And Brianne's always that person. You can hear her on the mic all game, always so positive. So it's funny. Every person on these small teams, they bring something different to the table.
You play the out-turn bullet and maybe get all 3 off the 4-foot.
Right, guys.
This one will obviously make the back one go, make the double. Where's it going? It should hit part of that back yellow. You don't want to stuff it. Needs to hit this almost on the nose to get the back red to miss the yellow.
This was running quite straight in the first end.
Yep. Hard.
Karwacki, all she's got to get it by the guard, and they do. And gets a few moving.
Boy, but it did jam. They hit it. It overcurled enough that hit it not quite where they wanted to and got the double jam there. Yikes.
Did well to get it by, just they were always risking a jam of some sort over there.
Woo.
I thought like just on the inside edge of the broom, I like the release. I thought it was a very good.
That's like 10-5 ice, I think.
What an opportunity here for Alberta.
Update time, Kathy.
Well, Corinne Brown has an opportunity for 2. She was trying to bury on her first, and it stayed a little bit open, allowing PEI a chance to double out the stones and lie 2, but it was a jam on Veronica Main's last one. So it is BC already lying 1, but needs full 4-foot to outcount the PEI stone for 2, and it does not look like it will get there.
Kathy, none of it did not send a team, so Corinne Brown out of BC was another team added from the CTRS, the Canadian team ranking system when it comes to points.
That is correct. Corinne lost the final in BC, but because Caitlin Laws won Manitoba, they went down the order 1 more, and that's where Corinne was, and that's how she got in.
I don't know whether you gamble this early in the game, but if you could ever get one in there, that type of position, it's going to be really hard to remove. You go right around everything, but that's raisable with a long guard, I think, Joe.
Pretty straight there, but yeah. Okay, I like that. If I end up being shorter, it's fine, but I think here is the play.
Yeah, let's pick one.
Yeah, here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my concern too, Russ. You don't quite have all that top red in the rings, but the guard is long, so you'd have enough time to curl past it with lighter weight. We haven't seen a lot of tap weight stuffs on that right-hand side of the sheet, though, so that might be what Carrie's thinking.
Absolutely, but I think they can make it. I think it's long enough they could. They guess right, they can tap this and get this yellow walk wherever it stops.
Back 4. It's either that or we play the corner freeze.
Okay.
And they draw for 2.
Yeah. 2.
So precision draw for Carrie, and she just had 2 uncharacteristic misses last end. This has to be close to perfect.
We could give up 4. Yeah. Like she could have this out turn, tap, tap. This is hard, but
yeah.
I think just let us know the weight. Yeah. We'll go for back 4, but if it's light, then okay.
Oh, these are so tough. When you think it's got to be back 4, and she's trying to call the either or, but the either or is like 4 feet different for the sweeper.
Yes, different line.
They're gonna have to make a call out of her hand.
Remember, Selena had one here that didn't curl at all. It got her 2 out of it.
Carrie Einarson, her final stone here in 3. Team Canada in some trouble. She needs a good one right now.
It's a little heavy, but they got to get it by.
There's that red stone they're worried about, and it will have a little wick. They'll keep on it. Shannon Burchard, a few last sweeps, and it settles. Back 4 shot stone, but available for the tap, and what a chance for Alberta on home ice.
Yeah, they were handicapped, the brushers. They knew it was heavy, so they didn't want to brush it, but they had to brush it to get it by, and they waited as long as they could and just ticked it.
I think this is
might have gone a little too far if it gets by, right?
Yeah, it would have outcounted a few of those rocks in the 12-foot. Just missed the line call. Not. Oh, we don't have all of this from the hack for Team Alberta.
Oh, that would have been through the house.
A little tighter line than Selena's fortunate one for the deuce in the first end, but so this might curl more than out wider.
What a chance for Alberta and this young skip, Selena Sturmay.
Big 11. 11. Clean. Girl.
A chance to take a commanding lead and get this crowd going in Calgary. A little bit of clean, little bit of curl. Sturmay tap it back, and how about a score of 4? Unbelievable stuff from Selena Sturmay, trying to make some noise against Team Canada. The Calgary Dinos curling team in the house, answering phones on Sandra Schmürler Day here on TSN. There's the number on your screen. Glad you're with us on the opening Sunday of the Scotties here on TSN.
This handsome young man is Luke Gallant, the 9-month-old son of Jocelyn Peterman and Brett Gallant. Today, Luke is a healthy, happy baby, but it didn't start out that way. Last May, when his mom Jocelyn gave birth, there were complications. Luke was having trouble breathing and eating. His blood sugar was very low. His life was in danger. Luke entered the neonatal intensive care unit at Foothills Medical Center here in Calgary, and the process of saving his life began. Thanks to the incredible people at Foothills and because of the life-saving equipment they had on hand, young Luke survived, and after a few weeks was finally able to go home with his proud parents. If you've ever wondered why the Sandra Schmürler Foundation is so important and why your donations mean so very much, well, that smile says it all. Luke is here this week cheering on his mom, and by the looks of it, he's ready to get out there on the ice himself.
What an amazing story. What a cutie Luke is. There's mom, Jocelyn, answering phones on Sandra Schmürler Day. And if that doesn't hit home, Joe, I don't know what does. And I know, wow, it's, you know, you're a nurse, you're a mom. That's special.
Yeah, and it's everything when your little one is so small and they're fragile and so vulnerable. To have all of the technology and the support that they need to help them thrive, it means everything.
And you know, the wonderful part is the support from across Canada and beyond. As you see the number, well, Anne from Brandon is a nurse, and she has donated $500. A donation is challenging all other nurses to match that $500 donation from Brandon, Manitoba. So that is awesome stuff. We appreciate the calls and the support on Sandra Schmürler Day right here on TSN. What a start for Selena Sturmay and Team Alberta. A 4 on the board. How about a 6-1 lead against the defending champs? And Joe, you know, you come in your home province, you start 2-0, you're feeling pretty good. Maybe your family and buddies are telling you, hey, you guys are great, this is going well. And then you're getting ready for Team Canada, and you start like this. What can you say about this young team out of Edmonton?
Yeah, I'm having a hard time articulating just how impressed I am with this group of women. To play in your first Scotties, like, that is the dream. Your entire career, they've played well and they've had lots of success in their junior careers, but this is the show. This means you've made it. Your friends can see you on TV, and they've got the crowd on their side too, and they're just handling it with so much poise, and they seem so comfortable out there. I mean, especially for Selena. In the first end, we saw the wiki tick. Audible was called, would have been a missed call, but had a fortunate result. She had a very similar path she had to take, a very similar shot. Sometimes you'll see someone start to grip it too tight and maybe soft that and have it overcurl by a mile, but she is just so calm and so cool.
I think we have to play the hit.
Great little soft weight hit and roll for Team Canada to get it underneath the corner. The corner got ripped off. Now you've got one in the paint. You make this double, you're pretty well buried too. You got a little bit going here.
The good news is, Russ, if you are Shannon Bircher, Team Canada, just the fourth end, 10-end game, and a lot of time.
Well, you just asked Saskatchewan. They've given up 4 in both their games and won them.
Right through the port. Tap, little tap. Nice shot, Shannon Bircher.
Very nice.
I know.
Going over the stats before the game, Canada was number 1 virtually in every position as usual. Sturmay's team was only 7th. And that tells me one thing and one thing only. It's all about missing the right way.
Kathy, update Quebec, Newfoundland, and Labrador.
Well, I mentioned in the opening that it was Laurie St. George who lost the opening draw and then had to sit back all day yesterday and didn't get any reps on the ice. And that little bit of offness, for the lack of better words, was evident in the first 3, but not in 4. Quebec has dialed it in, and it is 4 that Stacey Curtis faces. She tried a long run on her first, got nothing. And Laurie drew in again to line 4. Needs the Hearts to score anything, and full 4 to reduce it to 3.
Got to drag it a little bit more.
Okay.
And it'll be 3. So a steal for Laurie St. George. You know, Kathy, a cool story. I get to cover the Montreal Canadiens, and Alex Newhook is from St. John's in Newfoundland and Labrador, and we chatted this season. He is a massive curling fan.
Awesome.
His family, a big-time group of curling fans, and they watch all the time. And, of course, Brad Gushue from there as well in those parts. So We just didn't time it right. We needed the Brier Trophy and the Stanley Cup in St. John's, and then the invite, obviously. And it would have been, that would have been something.
11-5. Clean.
I like
clean.
it.
Clean. Whoa,
Curl.
clean.
But it's pretty cool. You go to a lot of NHL arenas across Canada, and what are they watching at pregame skate or the morning skate? They got the curling on.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
Hard. Hard roll. Hard roll. Yep.
One more time, Kathy, this time Northern Ontario and Saskatchewan.
Well, she's trying to play the double run, the yellow onto red. She faced two buried or almost buried on her first. She tried a hit and roll, caught just a little bit too thin and rolled away. And Krista able to remove that. And so it is a biter at the back. That means that this is against 2.
Kathy, they've started 2-0 Saskatchewan at the Scotties for the first time since 2013. Here we go, tap it back, red goes. Where is that spitting yellow? And just a little bit too far. Good try.
Steal of 1. She's a great hitter.
And they have great support, Saskatchewan, here in Alberta as well. A lot of fans.
I think I like that. Either that or you roll off the wide one.
It's either that or you do this.
I don't mind that. Yeah.
To try and bring that
nose
in.
again.
If we nose, though, they'll probably just...
PEI BC, Kathy.
Veronica Mains has faced a lot of difficult shots in the last couple of games that we have watched. She calls an aggressive game, and if the shots in front of her aren't made, she is often facing 2 or 3, and that is what she is facing in this end, 3. But there is the stone, the shot stone, just behind the tee line and the hearts, so she doesn't have to tap it back, but she does need to get right to the face of it to score.
It has... Where? Whitney, you have to use the backing. Top tee, just tee. Where is it? Is it on its own? Sit
To
there.
use that backing, it's got to curl up, though.
Good.
Little touch of the yellow, and it looks like it's good for 1, Kathy.
It does.
There you go. So 4-3, BC leads, single on the board for PEI.
Yep. Hard. Whoa. Hard. Whoa. Curl. Hard roll. Go.
Jeez. Okay, that's good.
Team Canada keeps playing these hits because they're hoping to be able to have their Rockets' third shot count, and they're just not quite getting there with their rolls.
No.
Roll anywhere over there.
I just don't think you need to flirt with that card for no reason.
I'm good with that, yeah.
Probably peel.
Crack at the double in it for a little thick roll over
Yeah.
there. Okay.
Dozens didn't do much here, actually.
Okay.
As I said before,
Probably
they're missing the right way now. Selena let Canada off the hook in the 1 when she threw that draw way heavy instead of light. But other than that, all 3 games, like you just heard what they said there. We'll try for the double. We hit it thick. We roll behind something. A great audible.
Yeah, they talked about hitting second shot, but it isn't fully open. So she said, why risk racking on the guard and giving up 3? This is a smart call.
And many options that could be good. Buried in the center line, buried on the edge of the 4, or the double.
I got my anger out. I'm good now.
What's that?
I got my anger out. I'm good now.
It's a long week.
No. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Yes. Whoa.
A lot of action on the roll. Clip the yellow, though. What a lovely shot. A little bit of cross country, across the house.
So good.
We've seen some teams struggle with that inside-out peel. They run a lot straighter than they're expecting. You can tell Selena's gone to school there.
Yeah, they all brush early, and all of a sudden it was silence because it wasn't curling.
Yeah.
They had it figured out.
Well, do we just
You can't
draw
teach
to,
it, you can't buy it. You've got to
Pretty
earn
hard for her to
confidence,
get
and this
by
young
this
team
top
is
one.
doing that early here at the Scotties.
We're here, and then maybe
then
I'll have a shot for 3.
Hope she rolls off at
Yeah,
least,
and
and you
then
have
leave
this
me.
for 2. And then you'd have it maybe this way.
I think so. Even if I freaking lose it. Make her make that.
Make her stick it.
Yep. And if she doesn't, we have a shot for 3. Yep.
It's a bit of desperation, but I love the theory. You get one in there, maybe top tee line. If they decide to play the run back, which they probably won't, miss it, there's a wide open hit for 3. 3's needed right now. The downside here is if the short run back's made, you're not very happy.
Hey guys, just lose one behind.
What is Selena's bread and butter? Is she love the hits, to draw, both? Is there something she leans towards?
I haven't seen enough to know.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you thinking here?
At this point, we saw her opt for some high hard ones in her first draw and opt for a draw when maybe appeal made more sense.
Kathy, have you noticed anything with Selena and just the game she likes to play?
Well, she loves to hit.
Yeah,
and she's
okay.
very, very confident and good at it.
Down by 5. Team Canada trying to get something going here in 4.
T-line. Yep. Hard, gotta go, Steve. Waist perfect. Hard, gotta go. Hard.
Big scrub. Want to be shot stone here when it's all said and done. And that is a much more confident draw from Carrie Einarson. There you go.
Down my draw, wait.
Yeah.
There's one.
It was 14.
14-9. Perfect. Hard, gotta go.
Really well managed here by the sweepers. Your skip's been struggling with her draw weight. You want to show her a good one. She can lock this in now for the rest of the game.
14-9.
Yeah, I had to leave that up top 4.
Only problem is they did drag it a little bit too far. So instead of being tempted to play a run back, Selena Sturmay can opt for the draw here. Makes the freeze. It's a tough score of 2.
Yeah, the run back would have been dangerous. This is the right play.
Joe, when you played, how much did you watch the other team's releases or broom, or did you just focus on yourself?
Oh, watching all the time.
Always?
We're always going to the school on how the other team's throwing it, how theirs are running, what information you can glean from how theirs are behaving, because arena ice, it can change from game to game. It can change throughout the game.
Sturmay trying to answer. Lock this on, little tap. It is shot stone, Team Canada. And you saw the broom down right away. It's a draw to the heart for the 2.
Beautiful shot.
I'll be right back.
Nice line. They almost managed to pump that far enough to sit shot.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
That speed should be pretty close, hey?
That's a tough 2.
2 feet more. But
If it's a little bit on the ditch side, this is out where the hill is, so to speak. This could curl early and not get by that red one.
It's going to be a fresh line for Carrie.
But find a way to put this on the hearts. You score a pair. And if this young woman gets rolling, gets that confidence going, anything can happen. Her final stone here in 4. The intern draw, they like the line. Karwacki and Bircher trying to make it perfect for their skip.
You're all over the front. Never mind.
And look at that. They thought they had a good one, but it takes off. Line and weight just not there. And the team just not sharp yet in this game. As 6-2, Alberta leads after 4 here in Calgary. Team Yukon answering your calls, and that's awesome. Over $400,000 already and counting. The goal is $1 million this year, and well on their way. Thank you for calling, and thanks for making us a part of your Sunday. Welcome back to our coverage of the Scotties here in Calgary. 6-2 Alberta leads, and so much great talent and history this year at the Scotties. We talk about Sandra Schmürler Day and the 3 Canadian titles, 3 world championships, the Olympic gold. We know Jennifer Jones will be stepping back from the 4-person game, going after her 7th. No one's won 7. Einarson's run of 4 straight, looking for 5 in a row. Colleen Jones this week is here as a coach. She won 6, and Kathy Gauthier begs the question, you know, when you look at the eras of curling, and you curled with the great Connie Lalaberty and Sandra, and we mentioned Colleen, and now this era right now, and you look at Jennifer Jones and her run, consistency, Rachel Holman, Carrie Einarson, the list goes on. Number one, you have to be so proud of the women's game and how amazing it is. But when you look at both eras, Kathy, what comes to mind for you?
Well, just very different eras. We talked about it yesterday with the Nova Scotia game and Colleen coming out. Colleen was great at the defensive game. She didn't make a whole lot of mistakes. She could draw when she needed to, but she would out-hit most teams. There was no free guard zone, and so she could. Then you look at someone like Jennifer, who could probably out-hit you, but is not the least bit interested in playing that kind of game. Completely embraced the 5-guard zone. And in the middle, you've got Sandra Schmürler, who forced women to be better, because it was when the rule changed, and a lot of women did not want to go to a more aggressive strategy, but Sandra did. And you had no choice but to play that when you played her. So those 3 women, to me, really changed the face of curling so far. And I don't know who the next one will be, but they've all really made their mark on the sport.
Really is incredible, and it's, you know, it's a pleasure to watch, you know, this era and what they've been able to accomplish. Obviously the ice gets better and the equipment's better as well, but there's some great competition. Kathy, will lay it back to you, Sheet D, Quebec, Newfoundland, Labrador.
Well, Laurie St. George was looking to remove that yellow stone, and it did not happen. She would have lined 4, and so this creates an opportunity for a 2-back for Stacey Curtis. 8 foot is what she needs.
Line's great. Curling now. Curling. Line's good. Line's good. Oh, close. Yep. Line's good. Forward. Nice throw, Stacey.
Nice weight from Stacey Curtis.
1 yellow.
Right on the hearts for the single. So trying to stay alive in that game, now within 3. Joe, just to follow up on that conversation with you, you know, this era and the era before you watched, obviously those wonderful women curling, what comes to mind for you?
Yeah, I think to just expand on what Kathy was saying is just the growth of the game in general. We've seen people embrace it full time. It's not a weekend thing anymore. It's the level of play has elevated so much from, I think, when I first made my first Scotties in 2014 to what we're watching 10 years later. Like, teams are so much better now. There's no gimme games anymore. We used to go play in a Bonspiel and making the playoffs was kind of assumed. It's not like that anymore. The depth has really improved.
Yep. Keep going, a little further. Go. Great toss.
It has to be hard to just even put into words, you know, the Einarson team, and remember the bubble and the COVID, and they couldn't go to a Worlds early on. Like, to win 4 in a row, I mean, it's like, how do you even describe that?
Yeah, every single Scotties you play in is a marathon. It's a beast of its own, and anytime I played in a final, I thought, man, like, it was so much work to get there, and you need the breaks to go your way. You need to get everything clicking at the right time, and you need all that stamina to get to the end. And for them to do it for the last 4 years straight, it's crazy.
Hard. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Hard.
Touch it.
Oh, nice.
Good. Desiree, little clip. That red is spinning.
It's a good shot, Des.
Alberta opens it up and lies 2 with Hammer here in 5.
Not only is the women's game got way better, look at the format change. You've got Team Canada and 3 wildcard teams. That really makes the field that much tougher.
A little heavier on this side.
Yeah.
Just a smidge, yeah.
Seen many draws on this side of the sheet going away.
Top 4, top
This was the side Carrie Einarson drew on last end.
T-line. Line's perfect.
It's amazing, too, how the game has changed. Russ has a stopwatch with a 9-volt battery, and you're using your iPhone. You know.
We used to use sundials.
You just counted Mississippi's.
Hard. You got it. Go.
Okay.
That's good. 14-4. 14-4. It's just yucky on it.
Yeah, just got caught on the slow stuff. You need a few rocks to go down that side for it to get up to speed. The right-hand side of the screen that 14-4 was the time. That would have been perfect T-line weight for Val. But a nice way to miss that, Russ.
Yes.
Leaving it up front, something you can use.
Absolutely.
My first thought was do something like a stagger. Okay.
Well, it doesn't look like there's much of a hole, and that's because there isn't much of a hole. But that is what Skylar Ackerman is going to try to navigate to get to the stone,
Let's make a good one here.
the back of the forefoot for 2.
11.
Ackerman, the youngest skip in the Scotties era to come out of Saskatchewan, 22 years of age. I caught up with Amber Holland just before the game, and what a great mentor they have in her behind the bench.
Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Galen.
Loves to compete, and the spunk and the fire of this young team.
It's close.
There's the hole. Get it through that little wick of the yellow. It was that close. But the rub and through. Yeah, frustration. A 3-1 lead for McCarville, Northern Ontario.
Everybody was calling line there, Joanne. Nobody was thinking speed. It was just a hair harder than what they thought.
Just barely even moved that guard, though, that they wicked
True.
on.
True.
Speed. Yep. Hard does. You're good.
Danielle Schmiemann, nice numbers, and 8-ball corner pocket picks that clean.
Give yourself,
Maybe a hair more,
yeah, you got to give yourself some ice here. I think that's minimum unless she's heavy. We talked about it getting a wee bit more curl out wide into the center, straighter inside out.
Okay, like that.
T-line.
Line's great. T-line. Yep.
T.
Easy.
Looks like you can hurt it.
Yes. T-line. Hard.
Gotta go. Top 4.
Hard. Hard. Just dang. Hard. Go. Bounce it off.
Hard. Fuck's sake. Sorry, I thought I gave you more. I know, I agree.
Yeah.
Talking to my brother Glenn, he was saying it's that you can't throw it through weight. You know, you've got to kind of
like
give it a
13.5
chance out of your hand. You can't lay it down there and get the brushers to drag it forever.
Yeah, we've kind of got a tale of 2 draw weights on this sheet. The one side, it's been used a lot. It's running pretty nice. We've seen some misses heavy. That side just hasn't been touched yet. And it's hard to know how much extra you have to throw, but in that situation, going out that wide, you're almost thinking as a sweeper, I can sweep it aggressive. And if it does look heavy near the end, I can lift my broom and watch it stop.
Joe, with all the research and the technology and analytics, how far technically can you actually drag a stone as a sweeper? How far can you bring it?
I think it depends on the surface. Sometimes a surface where it's running a bit slower, you feel like you're just kind of delaying it from stopping, not actually adding any speed. But you see a lot of the numbers that I've seen for the women is about 6 feet if you're end to end on a nice surface. And the men, I mean, watching them, it looks 8 to 10 sometimes. Helps the thrower, though. You're never thinking a draw to the button. You're thinking a draw to the 8-foot.
Right.
The sweepers do the rest.
Can I make it?
Didn't quite finish.
Good call.
Maybe. I don't think it ever clips that one, but
Yeah, my only other thought was doing, if you nose this, kill that one, it might open up something on the next one.
yeah. I don't think it opens up a whole lot because if she ever sinks another one, then we're screwed.
Yeah, she probably hits the 3.
Yeah. I think we got to give that a go.
Yeah.
I like Val's idea for a setup shot. It's just a little too late in the end.
Yeah. No, you're right, because they have to steal here.
Yeah.
You can make a double and give up a 2 or something. Doesn't do you much good. Even a 1, 7-2, playing the 6th. And Val's concept was to open that side up. I like it.
Even if you just popped it over to here, it's pretty good too.
Kay Anderson, some outstanding memories in this building. She won the Scotties back in 2021 in the bubble, beating Rachel Holman, and then teamed up with Brad Gushue to win the mixed doubles championship and went on to represent Canada at the Worlds.
How tiring would that have been? And then right to the Worlds.
Outstanding. Outstanding run she had here.
No.
Yep. Other way.
Skip Stones here in 5. Big weight. Einarson 1-2 and makes the double. Shooter hanging around in the weeds. Still shot Stone. Team Alberta back 4.
Nice carry. Good shot.
Now it doesn't curl. So that's what happens when you throw it good.
Good throw.
Great shot, because if they have to, they might not, but if they have to, that's available. Then you're sitting 2 or 3 if there's a mistake made here.
This path is a little better.
There's the only way you can get at that red
It's
one.
only 14 though. I don't think we're ever clean here. Yeah, no, I like that. Fighting top 4. Okay.
Top
probably
4,
be in a pathway.
2/3, 3/4 buried would be money.
Yeah, the only thing Selena doesn't want to be is deep here.
Can I give you the same as this draw? Or a hair more?
That was a 4 or 2.
Similar?
Similar to more.
Okay.
All right, Joe, you got the stopwatch out. What are we looking for here?
They're saying 4-2, which is 14-2 for them. They dropped that first number in their communication for hog-to-hog times.
Line's good. Top button. You can
This
wait.
was running
Top
quick a
button.
few ends ago.
T. No,
Yeah,
then.
the quickest spot here for sure.
No.
It's a 14-1.
Back button. No. Okay. 3-9. Okay. Yep. Sorry. That slightly wider path is better.
I think that's really close.
Yeah, that's
eh?
we were in
Yeah,
front
I
of
like
speed.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read what they were.
They made a steady diet, Team Alberta, missing the right way, and that wasn't one of them.
Yeah,
Good throw.
just that out of tolerance miss. You never want to think to miss, but top 12 there would have been a
I
lot.
thought if I was similar to that throw, it would have came down.
Yeah. No, it actually ran.
But maybe
good.
just missed it.
The one difference, obviously, with the no fans back in 2021, you know, probably better, easier to control the temperature. It's a full house today. I mean, it's awesome. And they're expecting big crowds all week. This is a great crowd. And the chief ice technician, Mike Merklinger, will be busy just trying to get it as good as he can. And you know, he is great at his job.
Yeah, it's a gas, because if the barn's going to be full, you've got to be careful not letting that ice temperature get away from you.
Top 4. Stay down, though. Yep. Line's great. Yeah.
It's not heavy.
Hard.
Trying to lock one in here, limit some of the damage. Big drag. All they got, Krawak and Burchard. Should be enough for shot Stone, and is. Yeah, tap on the back. That's a big scrub.
Nice. Good shot.
Beautiful.
Stay down, though. Yeah.
These are easy. Head down and sweep as hard as you possibly can. You've got Skipper right behind you.
I love how you looked at Russ and said, these are easy.
Yeah. Nobody's pointed out the yelling from the skipper there.
We got one of the best sweepers ever in the booth, and sorry, Russ, I'm not talking about you.
Yeah, Kristen didn't even lift her head, just put everything she had into that.
So a little pressure now on the skip, Selena Sturmay.
Oh, there's still.
Line's good.
Close
I
there.
thought less.
We're close. T.
Line's good.
Back button. We're there.
Don't have to.
Needs the
now.
Scotties' hearts to get her single.
Wait only.
Needs to sit.
Okay.
Stay.
It's curling
Nothing
now.
at all from the front end. Needs to curl. Needs to slow down a little bit, and this will glide and slide. But that little bit of backing. The weight wasn't there. It was heavy, but the backing was. Single on the board. 7-2. Alberta leads. And Joe McCusker there, a teammate of the great Sandra Schmürler, answering phone calls all day long as we support babies in crisis. We support families across the country. It's been a great kickoff. Scotties on TSN opening weekend. We'll step aside from Calgary.
The 2024 Scotties Tournament of Hearts is presented by Kruger Products, the softest and strongest supporters for over 40 years. By New Holland, proud sponsor of Curling Canada, by Montana's Barbecue and Bar, Canada's home for barbecue, and by PointsBet, the official sports gaming partner of Curling Canada.
Reid Carruthers, coach of Team Canada, as he chats it over with skip Carrie Einarson in an uphill battle here. Alberta putting on a great show, Joe, as we check the numbers for you after 5.
Yeah, and right from the word go, Alberta was in a good position on that first end, but looked like Carrie might have gotten them out of it, and an audible helped get the 2 for Alberta, and a couple misses from Einarson in the third led to a huge end for them to keep their momentum going. And key comparison here, Daniel Schmiemann having a wonderful game with Val Sweeting struggling.
After 5, brought to you by PointsBet, the official sports gaming partner of Curling Canada. A chance to go 3-0 in their home province. Lena Sturmay, Team Alberta, cooking right now in Calgary.
It's a very unique feeling, and we really don't take it for granted. And when you see the province on your back and your name right there, you really do feel like you're representing all of BC, and we're just really happy that we get that opportunity.
It is really exciting, especially right now, but it's just, there's nothing better than putting on the buffalo, putting on the yellow and brown, and representing our great province here at the Scotties.
Can Jennifer Jones go out with a 7th Scotties title? Great start, 2-0, taking on BC and Clancy Grandy. We're back tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on TSN, as we have you covered in Draw 6. And Joe, Russ, Kathy had a chance to talk to a couple of skips, including Daniel Inglis and Krista McCarville, just about what Jennifer Jones has meant to the game. And a lot of it is, you know, first GOAT, greatest of all time. The skill level, not only since she came into the Scotties, but having the competitive edge for so long, for such a high level. And Kathy, you saw it right from the start with the shot and how it's continued, and the respect that Jennifer Jones has amongst all these competitors.
Oh, no question about it. You go back to 05, that was her first win, and we're in 2024, and Jennifer is not fading away because she doesn't feel like she can compete. She's moving on to something else, but I feel like next year the Scotties will feel very different because she has been a very strong presence since 2005.
When you talk of athletes around the country, and you know, Jennifer Jones is just synonymous with curling and greatness for so long. And Kathy, I think you nailed it there. It's, yeah, she'll be missed big time. That competitive fire. Rachel Holman, you know, was so complimentary about the work ethic and that fire and competitive spirit for so long. But it's one less weapon to deal with now at the Scotties. She obviously was joking, but it's Jennifer Jones. It won't be the same without having, you know, her at an event like this. Kathy, what have you seen?
Well, not a lot of nerves from Alberta and the battle back of that 4 for Carrie Einarson. The times 2 in the next sheet, while both of those teams are chasing consistency, it's been a bit of an up and down battle. Krista McCarville, she said it, we heard it on the microphone. She's not feeling it, is struggling right now, but finding a way to steal. The hit strength of Saskatchewan is evident, but it's both. And for Quebec, they're finding their footing, started slow getting back. And it has been the rock placement from Newfoundland Labrador that has given Quebec some outs.
11-7.
Kathy, look at you winning broadcasting awards the first few days here, so that's a great segue. And we're going to segue to you with an update on Quebec, Newfoundland, and Labrador.
Well, giddy up. A chance here for Lori. That corner that she needs to hit is probably 3/4 available to her from the hack. But up until now, most of Lori's shots have been black and white. They've been a draw or a hit. This is that in-between weight that has caught so many people and needs to catch about a half of the stone and keep her shooter around if she's going to score 2.
Carving, curling, tapping. And it will be the 1 red for Laurie St. George. 6-2 after 6.
All right, draw around. Side ladder, try and play and hit and roll with the top one and get some space. What kind of weight?
Same weight as what you just threw.
Okay. Update 10 again, Kathy. PEI in BC, Corinne Brown.
Well, this is a really big shot. It is 3 for sure, maybe 4 that Veronica faces, and she's trying to get through a skinny port. If she gets through the port, she will make the nose hit for the single, but it is navigating the port that's the challenge.
Veronica Main throwing the 4 stones. Jane DiCarlo, the skip of this PEI team, got to get through the hole, and will. Lovely. Able to hit and stick. That's a big shot there to get within 1 over on Cheap E.
They definitely could have won their first game against Saskatchewan. It could have gone either way. Nice little roll there, Joe.
Yeah, that's 5-rock rule. The team that's up 5 still has to put their rock somewhere, so they had a nice setup in the middle.
Right back at it, Kathy, McCarville and Ackerman.
A chance to tie it up. Krista McCarville faced 3 on her final stone. It has been a struggle this end for the team from Northern Ontario, but able to remove a couple. But it is shot right now, belonging to Saskatchewan, electing to hit for her 2nd point.
Scott or Ackerman, bang, on the nose. 2 on the board, that's a close one. Over on sheet C as they're all tied up at 3.
That hit and roll made by Shannon Burchard on her 2nd is really good. With this 5-rock rule, you need to rearrange that middle, but you can't afford to lose your shooter when you're playing those hit and rolls, and she was able to roll on for 3rd shot there.
Perfect weight choice.
I could end up counting later this end.
Top eight, top line.
A bit of
Top
room.
eight.
Room. Whoa, line. Oh,
Girls,
go.
wait if we can. Top eight.
Curl. Shannon's wrong. Top 4. Gotta go,
Top
Shannon.
8.
Hey, line's getting good now.
Gotta curl mile. Gotta go.
Yep.
Top 8.
Still gotta go.
Gotta go. Gotta go.
Whoa, easy, easy, easy.
Line's getting good.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Good, good.
And that's how you use a corner guard. Wow.
14-9.
Unbelievable. $561,000. Sandra Schmürler Day, halfway to $1 million. Unbelievable support, and we thank you on Sandra Schmürler Day on TSN.
I think I'm seeing the corner. Like, even if you make that, I can see them just coming here again. Okay.
You want to hit the open one, but then with that perfect come around, around goes Team Canada again, and there's 2 buried rocks.
That's why I'm wondering if we can run into the other yellow there.
Can you make the yellow double here, Joe?
Yeah, I saw Selena line it up. I think she'll call it if it's close.
Just don't want to jam that yellow into that corner red, but I think it's there.
Oh. Curl. Curl. Curl, curl, curl.
Oh, it was there. You mentioned that Team Canada felt they had some bad breaks this year. They've had 3 of them that I can think of in this game.
Yeah, you can do that. If we hit that one, that leaves a double.
If we know there's a double, but it goes into there, but
like
still.
around your first call. I like something this way.
I think similar weight should be close. You got it.
That was against Jennifer Jones as team wildcard back in 2020. I mean, it just speaks to how dominant this team has been in the group play, into the playoffs, into the finals.
Line's good. T-line.
T-line.
Top 4.
T.
Yep. T.
Back 4.
Back 4. Yellow.
Unless you're hot. Back 4.
Yellow. T-line. Top 4.
I'm actually a 2-time Sandra Schmürler scholarship recipient, so it's a foundation that's really close to my heart, and obviously we know all the great things that the foundation does do for babies in need. So please donate where you can and support this Sunday.
Probably try and hit like a good half.
Awesome stuff from Corinne Brown.
One of those days.
What a great job by Val Sweeting. That rock is 3/4 buried around a rock top 12 foot. Just perfect weight, perfect line.
Gotta stop calling me.
Look at her numbers at the break.
To be patient.
She's a player you can't ever count her out. If she's playing 50, she's just ready to make the next one.
Just ridiculous.
Yeah, even 3/4 is fine.
It's just the fresh pebble under there.
What she's referring to, Brian, is the ice makers come in after the 5th end and put a little water on the slide path, a flat area, and it just feels kind of gritty underneath.
Yep. Hard! Hard!
We chatted about the greats of the game and different eras and names. Well, look at the names on this board, led by none other than Carrie Einarson. 80% career winning percentage. You talk about showing up at the show and performing, followed by Rachel Homan, Jennifer Jones, Sandra Schmürler, Connie Lalaberti, and Kathy. You had the privilege of playing with 2 of those players.
It is remarkable when you look at those names, and I think about the 2 that I played with and just their dedication to their craft. With Connie, she was a pro at a golf and country club, and so we threw rocks every day at a time when teams just weren't doing that. That's why she was leading. And with Jennifer, I always talk about her refusal to just walk away from wins. That's great. She is a perfectionist, and that is why she is as good as she is for as long as she has been.
So why were you hitting golf balls while she was throwing rocks? Is that what was going on there?
Yeah, and I wasn't any better at golf.
You said it, not me.
I think if we make the freeze
worn the handle out on her
perfect,
ball
that's our best chance of getting 3.
Yeah.
But I could like leave her the slash and it could go. But
Yeah.
Okay, just control, guys.
Alright, you got
Nose isn't terrible.
Okay, but try and roll Kristen's way
Yes.
with it? Okay, you got it.
You talked
You got
about
it.
the freeze here, Russ, and that would be a way to generate 3 points. Instead, they're opting for hopefully getting the 2, and I'm thinking they still have 5 ends. Second half of the game, score 2 here, they come within 3, then they'll be in the must-steal mode next end.
In. Whoa. Yep.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yep. 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 Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Hit, little roll.
Okay.
And the one thing, Team Canada, Joe, you can speak to this, that they might have going for them. Yeah, you're struggling. But you're taking on an Alberta team that is young, that some here for the very first time, and you're still Team Canada. There has to be that little bit, you know, of looking over at a Carrie Einarson going, wow, I have a big lead on her right now, but this thing isn't over yet.
Yeah, and we've seen it already this week with the 5-rock rule, with the no-tick zone. Shots, they do get harder in that second half of the game. And all of a sudden, the team that is trailing, all they're doing is throwing draws, and the team that's leading is trying to defend and throwing lots of hits. So if you're able to kind of win your way back into the game, those odds of winning late, if you can make it close, get higher and higher.
Was it tough at times, Joe? I'll go with you first and Russ. Like, you get that lead early, and then you're like, is that not like the 4-0 lead early in the 3rd end? Is that not like one of the toughest leads? Because it's assumed you're going to win the game, right, Joe? I mean,
yeah, you can't take your foot off the gas pedal, and you have to continue to perform. I mean, no team's going to say we don't want that 4-point lead, but it can be hard in a 10-end game to defend it.
1-2, lovely double on the board. She has showed up to play. What a showing thus far, Selena Sturmay, and she's getting the home crowd going. Yeah, that's a shot.
No mistake.
Throws those so clean. Just not a lot of moving parts in her delivery. Comes right out of the broom.
You having fun yet? Nothing better when you're playing is really well, winning all your games, and you're in your home barn.
Final stone here in 6.
Okay, that's okay.
What a shot from Selena Sturmay.
There it goes. There it goes. T-line, you can clean. Really curling, guys. T.
13-9 should be all
okay.
here.
Just clean, just clean.
Needs to sit and stop, and will in time for the single. 7-3. Alberta leads. Nice draw from Carrie Einarson. What's been a tough afternoon for Team Canada. But full credit to Team Alberta. And there's a familiar face, Lisa Weigel, in the house on the phone on Sandra Schmürler Day here on TSN. We'll step aside from Calgary. It will be the 11th time the Canadian Women's Curling Championship will be decided in the great province of Alberta. What a wonderful shot of downtown Calgary. We're just about 20 minutes from downtown on the way to the Rocky Mountains. What a cool shirt there. Legends, absolutely. Sandra Schmürler's team, 3 Scotties titles, 3 World Championships, the Olympic gold medal, just taken far too soon, losing her battle to cancer back in 2000. 6-10. It is time for a key shot.
Wow, just absolute. This rock is made right there. Right there. They just look at it from that point on. Off, on, off, on. They can't decide what to do. It's so good. Bang. Sticks it. Huge double.
What a shot from the Scotties rookie. Ice in her veins right now. A little smile and a fist pump. And a job well done. And a great job by our crew, working long hours to bring you the coverage each and every shot, draw, and day of the Scotties right here on TSN. A 7-3 advantage for Team Alberta.
Great shot.
And you have to think, we talked about confidence. You know, you got to go out there and grab it and earn it. But Selena Sturmay, she hangs on here. That would be an unbelievable thing as we go to Kathy in an update between McCarville and Ackerman.
Well, this is a blank attempt by Krista. It has been a series of misfortunes. Skylar Ackerman decided to ignore a stone and draw. She went through the house. Krista had the opportunity to draw. She hit the guard. So this is a stone that has just been hit by Saskatchewan, but for Krista McCarville, it has been a struggle today. Confidence builder would be the rollout.
Okay.
In our feature, what a great shot to open things up front. And
wow.
Yeah, right on the nose.
And that has been the story.
I still always think of Ron Burgundy and Vic Rauter and Chelsea Carey at the trials. And
oh, that's
Ron was on saying, "Oh well, this is an impossible
Can't
shot."
make this one.
And it was a blank, and she missed it.
And she had a catcher on the one side, so she
I'm so sorry, Chelsea Carey, for reliving that story, but Ron Burgundy and Vic Rauter. And by the way, we send Vic our best and hope he's back very soon with our curling family.
That was amazing.
You know how much I get asked about that still? And it was pretty awesome. I actually think Will Ferrell got a pretty good appreciation for the sport of curling and for Vic and for the entire crew. It was a lot of fun.
Nice double peel made by Desiree Hawes on her first. Just looking for the single here.
Well, when you're rolling, you're rolling.
And it happens to everybody all the time. You know, sometimes it goes, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
You don't want to use them all up in one game, though. That's tough to do. Leaves a guard, though.
Yeah, definitely something to work with here for Team Canada. They've got a few Alberta rocks behind the tee line.
Top four.
Such a long week that
Top 4 tee.
sure Team Canada is not in a favorable scoreboard position right now. Odds of winning this game not very high, but they're still looking to learn and to make some shots and get everything they can out of this game moving forward.
For you, Joe, I mean, you were an amazing sweeper, front-end player. Was it mental or physical in exhaustion? Which one was more?
Oh, I would say both, honestly.
Really? Yeah,
it was
okay.
You're playing 10-end games. You've got the crowd. You've got all that intensity. So the sweeping just takes a toll by the end of the week with, 4 full round robin of the 8 games and then onwards. But that mental, the roller coaster emotionally up and down with every single game, you just try to tune out everything else and save yourself as much as you can for the end of the week.
Kathy, Quebec, Newfoundland, and Labrador.
Well, Quebec has been scrambling this entire end. On her final stone, Laurie St. George faced 3. She tried to play a run-back double, get rid of at least 2, but just picked off the top stone. So those 2 that you see that are in the forefoot, those belong to Newfoundland Labrador Stacey Curtis. This is a draw for 3, needs full 12, biting the 8.
Stacey Curtis and her team out of the Remax Center at the St. John's Curling Club in Newfoundland and Labrador.
Curling now.
Another peel hit on the nose.
Good sweep. Good throw.
Really nice weight control and another great draw, and that is 3.
And that's a game now.
Not going anywhere. 6-5. And Joe, it goes back to your comment off the top of the show. No one's really finding their groove, and it just has that wide open feel.
But you expect that at an event too. It's a long week. Everyone's getting adjusted to the ice and the rocks. You'll see things get more comfortable and more consistent as the week goes on. As you mentioned here, Russ, a couple bonked peels. Canada could make a good one here.
Keep going. Yep. Keep not well if it's not there. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice throws. Yeah.
The rocks were reconditioned at the start early in the summer, actually, and then they would sand them
Let's
before
run
this
the
event.
same
You,
in that
you
path.
start to wonder if there's little idiosyncrasies that they're maybe not picking up on.
That's right. Thought they were going to make the little slip double on that run back.
Shoot. Yep.
Never off.
Hard.
Can't touch the line.
Hard. Whoa.
Good. Nice.
Opens it up and drives the yellow out, does Schumann.
Drop.
Kick that red one back 2 or 3 inches. This rock being thrown will be there forever.
So speed's good. Speed's better
Yeah.
out here.
Yeah.
Nadal just passing some information
I
up the
I
lineup.
thought it would curl a little once it got there.
Heavy
but
on
not
her
that
first, quite a bit light on her second. You don't
Yeah.
usually see her miss those draws by that margin, so I am wondering about her rocks.
Right.
They're thinking it's the paths, though. A little
True.
wider, a
And
little
it can-
better.
That same
and it
I
can
gave you
be.
before, like that 14.
5?
5?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay,
We
go
know
again.
this is as good a spot as any.
TV line, back 4. Yeah.
Well, then off if you're heavy.
Lines up.
Back 4.
Close.
Clean. Yeah.
Lead.
Back
Yes,
eight. Yeah. Back 8.
Hard line.
Hard.
Back 4.
Hard.
Back 4.
Line
Hard
three.
line. Keep going for line.
Coming off.
Keep
Keep
going.
going.
Roll your mind.
Back 4.
Line.
Back.
Back 4.
Whoa.
Selena Sturmay, starring in this game. She's also a registered nurse for Alberta Health Services and talks about the Sandra Schmürler Day.
Yeah, being a registered nurse myself, I get to witness firsthand the value that the Sandra Schmürler Foundation brings to real life in hospitals. I work at the Stollery Children's Hospital in Edmonton, and yeah, first-handedly have seen how far the money and the donations go to local community hospitals. So definitely important to make those donations, and definitely, yeah, help out babies born too sick, too small, or too early.
How much are you throwing? Half. Okay.
It's just amazing the buy-in from all the athletes and the time. I mean, and we see it all the time. You go out, you might have lost a game in an extra end, and the next thing we see, the whole team's up there answering phones. It's pretty awesome.
You could play the yellow straight back, probably make a triple, or get, but a freeze in here is pretty nice too.
I think they're playing a little bit of a tap shot here. Try to get to nose and move the backing around.
And keep it frozen, yeah.
Curl. Hard pitch. Hard pitch.
big 11-7.
What was the problem with that call? Little overthrow here, and
I like running that top one, and just worst case scenario, you open it up.
sorry.
I like the throw. Just
Can we get, even if you got to like here, I think.
I don't think we still can't.
Okay.
Like, yeah, you could try. And if I get to here,
That or we sit,
well, I don't.
we sit 3.
Yeah.
That way.
That's still. Do we call a timeout right now?
Yeah, because I feel like
Time.
I feel like we just leave a double for.
Time.
Like
I think we get like 3.
If we can't get here, like the best we could leave space, we'd have to be like there. And then she just probably plays off this for 1. But I think if we're here, we just leave her a double for 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Is that, or
Okay,
we,
both options you guys discussed are both really good.
It's just how do we
just
get
don't
here?
think we can get
I don't
there.
want to be here because we'll just leave her that.
Yeah,
Like it has to overcurl
yeah,
it.
which is not super easy. So is
Or
it
do
a
we
little
hit
bit?
this and
Well,
sit
is it a little
3?
bit easier to go like nibble the button, but kind of where your broom is up a bit?
yeah,
Like
we'd
here?
have,
No, like where your broom was, the line, like a little bit more towards me, right? Whoa,
yeah,
whoa.
we just don't know how to get there.
How do you get there?
Okay, so if you played the intern and you got really close to the red, if you get by, it's great. If you feather, we're probably still in a decent spot, right?
Yeah,
Because it's
and
going
then
to
we're
roll.
just leaving her that same shot she just played, and then she can do that.
Another thought we had was to
Hey,
play
that
this and
spin
sit
up.
I think
3.
it's very hard to do that though.
Yeah.
It's very hard not to just leave some sort of
Leave a
nose.
double.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So try
even
and
if
get
I ended
there.
up welding here,
That's
not
okay.
terrible. We're
Yeah.
stealing one.
So we're playing it tight
Let's.
for that.
You guys like that shot?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I do too. Let's make it good, guys.
Here more.
Reed's concept is kind of keep it wide
The
open,
spot
and then
is
you
just
can't
touching
remove
the
it.
button.
And
Yeah.
then the red one, when it's hit, it'll be up in this area, and it's at least a steal 1, maybe 2. The other thing they could do is bring it in totally buried, but what they're worried about then is the great hitting
2 feet less.
from Team Sturmay, bang, 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 and up a bit. So I like their move here. It's hard to get it there with that red one in the way, though.
Yeah, they'll have to play to keep it wide. Some of these draws with the right weight are just taking off and curling. They also talked about playing a hit on the backing to try to sit 3, but run the risk of just opening things up and leaving an easy shot for 1.
Right.
Alberta.
top 4.
Sit 2,
Hey, line's close. Little bit.
wide open's pretty good.
Top 4. Yeah, line. Yep, for line. Yeah, line. Top 4. T-line. T-line. Hard line. T-line.
T-line weight's got to be close.
Hard line. We're going to this one. Hey, yeah, we're there. Hard to stay high. Whoa.
A little bump on the Hearts. And for now, flying the 1 and 2 without hammer here in 7.
Got the right flight plan there, just a couple feet too heavy.
Yes.
That rock stops top button. It's just off the center line. That's exactly where they wanted
I
it.
think they were brushing it to keep it wide.
Yeah, they wanted to make sure that it didn't get into the middle.
Might have been better to just bury
Hard
it
to get there.
and keep it higher.
Good spot.
Still an option they talked about. That rock's going nowhere.
Is it there for 1? Can she get 1? Unless she gets
She
inside.
has to spin it. Just get a little, like, spin ours.
Yeah. Shoot.
There's not a lot of space.
No.
It's close if I get right to this. Okay. Just you're going hacker ball. 11-7, but I just.
As you say, that yellow one's only going to go a couple inches, so you need to skinny this top guard to get shot rock, and that's a dangerous shot. Wouldn't be too afraid to give up a steal of 1 here.
Can't risk racking on the front.
Right.
Selena Sturmay has not allowed a steal yet this week.
Whoa, curl. Curl.
Final stone here in 7.
Hard curl. Curl. Hard.
Got to scrub it over a little bit more and try jam the 1 yellow. She will. And as you pointed out, Russ, the steal of 1, not the end of the world. 7-4 after 7. Einarson continues to battle, and there is Kathy Overton Clapper. answering your phone calls. It is Sandra Schmürler Day here on TSN. We appreciate all your support. Over $500,000 already raised. Welcome back to Calgary. Our feature matchup, Team Canada Einarson taking on Team Alberta and Selena Sturmay. A steal of 1. Carrie Einarson now within 3, and Russ with the new rule situation, no tick, 5-rock rule. There's a lot of opportunities to still generate some offense here.
Yeah, there certainly is, and the worst part for Team Alberta is their guard came up, or their comer-on came up late and it ended up being a guard, and that's not where they want it.
No tick rule puts a lot of pressure on the leads to get their rocks in good spots, and Paige Papley won't be happy with either one of those results.
As we compare the numbers by the leads, player comparisons brought to you by New Holland, proud sponsor of Curling Canada, and 84%. So no plus minus there amongst the leads numbers.
Mine's good.
I thought minimum, but it's third down.
We got room. Top 4. Now, whoa. Top 4.
Mine will get there.
T, back 4. T, curl.
Gotta curl, guys. Gotta go.
Hard.
Keep going.
Hard.
Keep going.
Hard. Keep going. Good shot.
Good. 2/3.
Really nice sweep on that draw by Team Canada. They know that they're going to be guarding this rock for the whole end, so they wanted to make it as good as possible. Narrow down the rings as much as they could.
Whoa. Close.
Desiree Haas for Team Alberta.
Whoa. No.
You're still with us, right, Kathy?
You bet I am.
There she is. Update time, PEIBC.
Corinne Brown drew on her final stone, put it right on the heart. She is lying 2. No way to make a double, and so this is the nose hit for the single.
Nice. On. Yeah.
Very nice.
Halfway.
Close game on sheet B. 6-5. BC still leads with Hammer when they begin 9.
Yep. 2.5. Straight. Coming off.
Straight.
Halfway.
We're not past that one.
Halfway. Straight. Yep.
I just don't want to leave it easier.
Oh, like a zigzag?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty makeable double here.
Good throw.
It's a little heavy.
Shannon had a 14% advantage at second in this game, and not anymore.
Great job by Desiree Haas, leading by 10%.
Just never see a hit percentage for Shannon Burchard in the 70s.
Hard.
Remember early in the game, she had that flash, had a chance very early in the game to make the double. I was hoping to also spill the yellow as well, so still some guards to work with for Team Canada. Northern Ontario, Saskatchewan, Kathy.
Well, that red stone that is shot was the final throw by Krista McCarville, trying to freeze on top of the Skylar Ackerman stone at the back. They swept it hard to get to the back, and it's partially open, but for Skylar, because it's so deep in the house, she can get across the face if she has the right weight. Chance for 2.
Kathy, who's had momentum in that game? Hard to say?
No one.
Yeah.
It really has been one of those games where there's been opportunities that have not been taken advantage.
Big sweep for Ackerman. And just avoids a little tickle, but I think it's good enough for the 2.
Sure is.
Nice throw. That's a crazy big game for Northern Ontario. Yeah, they go to 1 and 2 if they lose that game. They'd be 2 games behind Saskatchewan with a loss to Saskatchewan.
5-4 lead Saskatchewan there. Remember, no tiebreakers. And that'll open things up and get the yellows moving. A little better situation now for Team Alberta. Worth noting too, Russ, now the no tiebreakers, so then it's head-to-head. and then that draw to the button. And can you imagine, losing at the end of a week by a draw to the button? But Kathy, as you pointed out, that happened to Jennifer Jones at the Olympics. It's happened to a lot of great teams and players, and it's just getting on the same path. And
it is. It sounds really harsh, but the reality is that I believe firmly that the teams, the conditions, and the rules that they play with here in Canada should translate to what they will face at a World Championship or an Olympics, and that's what happens there.
And that's exactly what they mimic now. So, Pool A, which is what we're focused on, and so this game, if Sturmay wins, they're 3-0, and they own the tiebreaker versus Carrie Einarson, and that is huge. And same goes, we talked about Saskatchewan and McCarville. McCarville loses this one. Ackerman's 3-0 with the tiebreaker over McCarville, so it's just so critical at this stage. Early, it's crazy to think we're the opening weekend and must-wins basically for some of these teams.
And it's not as early as it used to be because there's only 8 games. It used to be 11, right? So if you're, let's say McCarville loses this game, how do you catch Saskatchewan with so little games left?
By winning out.
Yeah, right. That's true.
But that's might need some help, might have to win out.
Both.
Yep.
All right, just replace it.
Yeah.
Maybe a smidge deeper, but not much, I don't think.
Yeah.
Same spot, guys.
Okay. All right, you got it, Kara.
Yeah, my only thought was if we move it, she probably has to do something with it. I don't know if she's wrapping that top 8 one.
That's true.
It's a really tough situation because what do you guard? You guard the shot rock, there's a double. You guard the high when the shot rock's exposed.
I think they're looking for right in between.
Yeah, right.
Guard half of each, right in the middle of both.
Throw the thick rock.
So much action on these stones for us with these blue hone inserts.
Yeah, no, that's just it. They were reconditioned this year too, so they're extremely lively.
Curl a bit. Whoa.
Really tight.
Whoa.
Good spot.
Pretty good.
Or run
I don't love running the guards.
Yeah, I think anything high hits that.
If you clip the guard, that's probably the way to miss it, hey?
Yeah. Even if you hit it a little thick and at least roll it into the 8 foot she's drawing and then,
Peel.
Notice with this team from Alberta, Russ, they talk tolerance a lot. And I think that's what's making the difference for them. You mentioned their numbers aren't necessarily at the top of the table, but if you miss a shot and it's a half shot, but it's the right way, it's going to make a huge difference.
Yeah, no question. That's exactly the reason.
For this, for example, here, if Selena's a little wide on this double, she could jam it on the red in the back of the rings. If she's a little narrow, she rips off that center line guard, and hopefully we'll have something on her last. So they're always talking about, if anything, the way to be.
Just do not miss wide here. You're good. You're golden.
Firm.
Hold. Yep. Hold. Yep. Hold. 2.
Selena Sturmay, 1-2, big double for the Alberta skipper.
Very nice. To Joanne's point, they knew how to play that shot, but executed it perfectly.
Well, and that's the art right there with curling is knowing the way you want to miss it, but then still dialing in and throwing it to make it. And she's done it so many times this game with her hits.
How many teams would say, "Oh, gee, I better not wreck. And when in reality, that would have been a good play. Nice shot.
Or on the other hand, so afraid of missing wide that they miss narrow out of their hand, right?
2 feet more.
Yeah, that happens, doesn't it?
Sweep it there.
Selena Sturmay turning heads early in Alberta, the home province, and what an electric start getting the fans into it. We already know the crowds are going to be great. Ticket sales have gone wonderfully, and man, this will only boost to that fire in this building, which is very exciting.
Top 4, top 8.
Top 8. Okay. Yep. Gotta go. Top 8. Really good.
Full 4 would be perfect here.
Mine's perfect. Top 8.
Where we can go.
Yep. Go if you have top 8. Hard.
Go.
Mine's good. Hard.
Another good brush, Burchard, Karwacki.
Curl.
That's a lovely draw. Top 4 buried shot. Stone for Team Canada. So what a performance for Alberta. Up next for Alberta, Saskatchewan, and that's tomorrow night. So they have the bye tomorrow morning, and right back at it tomorrow morning, Team Canada has BC Team Brown. So as you guys talked about, I mean, it comes quickly and it ends pretty quick, and you got to get the W's when you can. This would be a massive win for Team Alberta.
And for Alberta, coming into Pool A, they had the top 2 seeds early in the week, and to get through with the win, they're just going to keep building as this week goes on. Great draw, though, by Carrie Einarson.
Oh, just couldn't have carried it down any better.
That is the shot of a 4-time champ. Numbers for both skips, not where they'd like them to be. Final Stone here in 8 with a 3-point lead.
No. Curl.
Nothing yet.
Straight. Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Team Canada slowly trying to claw back. That's back-to-back steals. Yeah, Reed Carruthers, no quit in this team. They will fight to the end. 7-5 after 8, Alberta with Hammer when we come back. Just a reminder, Sandra Schmürler Day, and there's daughter Sarah, one of the daughters of the great Sandra Schmürler. As we help babies in crisis, Sarah and Jenna are just so critical to the foundation, and on the phone right now here in Calgary. Leadstones on the way in our feature. This one coming from Paige Papley as Team Alberta, a 7-5 advantage, but look, 1-6 for Team Canada, a steal in 7, a steal in 8, and don't go anywhere. Carrie Einarson and company are not done yet.
No question about it. Even a steal, a single steal here, you can easily sit 3 in the 10th end.
Kathy Gauthier, update time again. It's McCarville and Ackerman.
Well, Krista McCarville was taking aim at that yellow stone at the back of the 4 on her first. It was edge to edge with her own. She wound up clunking her own over. And so Skylar Ackerman had the chance to hit to lie 2, but she grazed a guard. I think it's starting to get a little bit soft in the middle. And so that means this is a draw for 2, but she does need full 4.
Beat Krista Burns 6-4 in the provincial final. 11th Scotties appearance for McCarville. 2 silvers, 2 bronze. The bronze last year in Kamloops. Been so close losing in Thunder Bay a couple of years ago, and that is gonna go too far. Kathy, you talked about it, just, you know, catching her on the microphones, and we're blessed to have the players mic'd up throughout the competition, but just not a confident Krista McCarville.
No, and confidence is such a huge part of this game.
They brushed that pretty hard too, Kathy, and I think they were waiting for it to die in the middle.
And it just didn't.
Yeah.
And then you wonder if you call it a little earlier, do you chunk off your own?
Yeah, for sure.
It's just so quick, and suddenly nothing is going your way. Like the lines, the weight judging, the
happens.
The audibles. It's
less easy line. T-line. Okay, line's good.
We saw this side of the sheet a few ends ago was very slow. Shannon's first a little heavy. Chance to rearrange a little bit.
Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, good.
Little tickle right in, top hearts. Great touch shot.
See, and that's the DNA of a championship team there. Val threw a couple draws there a few ends ago. Neither one of them ended up where they wanted them to be, but Shannon's first, she threw a 13-1. She threw that hard because they knew what had happened with Val's rocks. Now look at this.
A shot of the game for Team Canada. 2 choices here. You rip the guard, or there is a double off the back yellow.
Just the feel
So curl a little bit.
Try to run this in and rearrange the forefoot and button area, but heel works too.
Yep.
The coach for this Alberta team, Ted Appelman, who was an alternate in Lethbridge for Kevin Cooey, winning a silver medal.
Good, good.
Ted's a very good player, still is.
Yeah, the team says they've been just blown away by how much he's contributed this year, from everything from practice to team dynamics to preparing for big games. He's been a huge asset to them. They got way more than they expected when they asked him to join.
Well, what did you have in that province for years? There was the Furby 4, and then Kevin Martin was always in the mix, and then you have Botcher and Cooey and on and on and on. Like, try get out of Alberta.
No kidding.
Yeah, Ted's joke, I think he lost the provincial final more than one time in Alberta. So he told the team, he said, I'll get you guys to the provincial final. After that, you're on your own. Say it jokingly, but it's...
And they were 2 down coming home, or 1 down coming home, stole 2, or they wouldn't be here.
Quebec, Newfoundland, Labrador, Kathy.
Laurie St. George tried a flat double on her first one. It just did not curl enough, so she got 1, but it is the nose. That is the one that they're aiming at. If she can get it to the crotch, which is the plan, there is a chance for 2. She's going to move that yellow one, but they're hoping not to move it too far.
I'm worried the 9.5 is going to run.
Fifth hit in the game for Stacey Curtis.
Clean.
Playing her out turn, and a 7-5 lead for Laurie St. George, the Team Quebec. Trying to curl it over, one little tick of the red.
I think so.
And we'll get the overhead here to have a better look.
Good judge, Kristen.
Yep. 2 yellow.
Nicely done.
2 yellow, so that's again, tie ball game coming home, 7-7. Quebec with hammer coming home in 10.
I think we got to leave a bit of the red open, though.
Newfoundland was down 4 in that game at one point.
That's a team, Russ, that had a bye early, so it just is, they're still trying to figure it out, but they're playing much stronger.
He's playing off of the yellow right now. I think.
I like the guard read here.
Yeah.
We want to leave that red a little bit open.
Okay.
Okay, so same weight.
Yeah, you got it. Let's pass up to speed now.
Okay.
Two and a half.
That is in jeopardy.
Deeper than Val.
2.5.
But full credit to Team Canada trying to battle back here in this 9th end, down by 2. Alberta with hammer. Skip Stones.
Tier broom.
Yep. Coming down a bit.
Tier broom.
Little bit. Yep.
Whoa.
Good. Good spot. Good. Okay.
Alberta is shot rock right now, but how do you get that yellow one out of there?
What are you thinking?
I don't know.
And their timeout called.
She's probably playing that.
Yeah. We can't guard it. She's going to play that. If we peel the yellow, she's probably going to hit the just off nose, soft weight.
Yeah.
And then we probably have hit what we can see of our red one for 1.
Is nose bad on that one? I
Nose
just think
on
if we're doing something with that, we're probably getting rid of it completely.
Yeah.
And then she has to probably play tap on our red to move the red far enough.
Far enough. Yeah.
And then hopefully, I guess we have tap again.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think if we peel the yellow,
I think she's nosing it and making us look at a few.
but she's got to make a good shot.
Yeah.
Okay, she's got to make that pretty precise. I don't think she's going to throw weight at it and kill. Well, she might try and sit 3. I think she has a couple options. She can just tap it back a little bit and sit cornered, right? Or she can sit 3. But what are you thinking, Paige?
They're flat, but can you ever punch it this way at all. Even if you touch the 4 and just move it a hair, it's a hair better.
Like off the yellow and into the pile?
Yeah, like that way. Even if you click the...
It leaves us a second option.
Is that horrible?
just think if we move our red, then we're not going to be shot. And...
I think it's that or the peel.
Okay.
Yeah.
The peel's never wrong. Never, ever, ever wrong with the score the way it is. But Ted brings up a good point. Then if the nose hit's made, Candace hits 3, and then you better make a nice shot.
Like, the thing is, she can probably nose this right now.
Do we ever peel it into this guy then?
I think so.
Okay.
I just think she can still get to the nose with weight, and we're looking at it. Okay.
The tap that I drew up, Joanne, is an option too, because it releases the red.
But then?
Yeah, good half.
Yeah.
You like
I think they want to stay shot right now, though, and make Canada make their shot, which I think I agree with that.
Yep. And on this peel attempt, you can try to get that wide Canadian yellow on the way by would really help.
Really, you don't like looking at 3 here if you're Alberta on your last.
No.
Nice to kill one in the rings.
Yeah.
Selena Sturmay with her first.
Whoa. Close. Whoa, no. Yep.
Hard.
No. Whoa. Whoa.
Okay.
It's good.
Do you like that intern stuff? It goes easier with this,
A 9-5 lead on sheet B for Corin Brown, looking to pick up the win over PEI.
Just like a normal.
Normal, yeah. Okay. All right, right on the nose.
Pretty automatic. This goes that way, that goes that way. Ideally, for Team Canada, is keep that up here somewhere. If the 2 yellows are lined up, then the double's made, you roll out, it's a steal of 1. Just maybe well, dead on should do it. Maybe a fraction high side.
I think so.
Got to make it. That's the main thing. Sit 3.
Final still here and now. Carrie Einarson. Out of her hands. Kristen Kurwacki trying to carve it over, get it to Curl.
Fuck's sake.
And she'll.
It's not a good throw. Sometimes you're trying to move that much. Granted, there's a real extension on that thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Out.
In case we hit it thick and roll
That's
up.
just the piece to Carrie Einarson. Just, you're not used to seeing that at a Scotties. You see all of a sudden there's an opportunity for a big shot like that. And in the past years, that is when she is like 0% chance of missing. You can see how frustrating it is for her, the reaction.
Especially no turn hit. Just going to throw it away, Muddy.
You like this decision considering the score and
yeah, it probably didn't have a shot, and the downside was tap that one up.
So you're up by 3 without Hammer coming home in 10 and a chance to beat the defending champs in your home province. Don't go anywhere. We'll step aside from Calgary. That is what it's all about. Very cool. This is my first Scotties. I wonder who they're cheering for. I'm pretty sure it's Saskatchewan. It's great to see. I mean, yes, fans in the building is amazing, but it's great to see young women inspired by these rock stars on the ice, and very special to have fans back in the building. Glad you're watching our feature, Alberta, Team Canada, and full credit, Selena Sturmay has given the defending champs all they can handle. 10th end. Up by 3 without, and a chance to improve to 3-0, Joe, in their home province.
Running okay. Got a curl. Tight. Got a curl. Tight.
Yeah, they've been just more of the same. It's the demeanor that's continued. There's no point where they've seemed to be gripping it tight by any means. I mean, it really felt like Canada was starting to gain momentum. They're starting to win their way back. And listening to the conversation in the timeout, you heard Ted come out and he goes, "What are you thinking?" And she goes, "I don't know." Very conversational. It doesn't seem like she's afraid of the miss. She's not afraid of the loss. She's just very much in the moment. And that's exactly what you need, especially in your first Scotties.
Yeah, she'll take the input from anybody, but last night she wanted to play the shot she wanted to play and made it.
Kathy, update time, McCarville and Ackerman, and it looks like this is a must-make here for Krista McCarville.
It is. Skylar Ackerman has last rock, and they called a timeout. Amber suggested to Skylar that they go around, and that's exactly what Skylar did. We've seen her great hits, but that stone that is at the top of the hearts in the 4-foot buried was Skylar's first. Not a lot that way, so Krista's looking to wrap, but she has to be shot. This is her last. At 59%.
You think, Kathy, they'd follow that down, tap it a couple feet. I'm not sure this is makeable.
I'm not sure either. They looked at it, but they don't seem to. I guess they feel that they'll roll into the open, but you still have to make the shot.
Have a look, guys. It's got a curl. Close, line's good. Line only.
Ackerman 2-0. McCarville 1-1. Krista McCarville needs a good one here in 10.
Go, Ash.
No? Okay.
Wanted to carve it, but the weight's got to slow down. They got to be shot stone when this is all said and done.
And she will not be.
Wow. What a story. Team Saskatchewan. And the 22-year-old skip, Skylar Ackerman, a 3-0 start. The last time Saskatchewan started 3-0 was Jill Sturmay back in 2013. She started 4-0, and that is reason to celebrate for the Green Machine, making their province proud here in Alberta.
Skylar missed a couple draws earlier in that game, but no mistake there, Kathy, in that first rock she threw.
She threw it absolutely perfect. Made it so hard for Krista to even find a way to be shot.
Good game, good luck. Sorry. Good game.
Some chances here for Carrie Einarson.
Yeah, a couple guards on the one side. Alberta's looking to make this hit and roll in to sit 3.
Danielle Schmiemann. There's your hit, there's your roll, and there is Team Alberta lying the 3.
Good play. It's another piece of shrapnel that Einarson's going to have to deal with.
And didn't leave an overlap there either, so it's usable if they happen to come around everything.
Kathy, let's get you back to work. Quebec, Newfoundland, and Labrador.
And very much like the other update that we showed you, this is not the final stone, but it is Stacey Curtis's final stone. On Laurie St. George's first one, she was trying to tuck it a little bit so there was no access to the shot stone. It didn't quite curl enough, so Stacey is looking to get to the nose, make the double, and force Laurie to shoot against 2.
In our feature, you see wiggling those red stones around. 2 in the house now for Einarson. Shot stone, though, still obviously belonging to Team Alberta. Alberta 1, 2, and maybe even 3. Stacey Curtis, what has she got over on Sheet D?
And she will not make contact with the shot stone, and so that is a victory, the first one so far at the Scotties for Laurie St. George and Quebec.
1-1 for Laurie St. George. 8-7 your final. And just 2 games remaining on the ice on this Sunday afternoon. Each and every rock and shot and draw right here on TSN.
I don't know what happened to Val Sweeting's first. She's trying the same shot, hit and roll to our right, buried behind the 2 guards. She actually overcurled it, didn't even get the rock out of the 8-foot, so it just didn't go anywhere. You have to roll here. Just not a lot of speed again. Both those reds at the back were the Val's hits, yeah.
The Game Story is brought to you by Montana's Barbecue and Bar, Canada's home for barbecue. These are the numbers coming into this end in the third. Just misses for Team Canada in this game. They haven't been sharp. I think that was the big story early, but we have to give credit to Team Alberta and Selena Sturmay, as she's been consistent. She's made some lovely shots, and I gotta be honest, Joe, she has not looked out of place or rattled in the big moment at all.
Yeah, I'm so impressed with her. been more of the same from day one.
You heard Val Sweeting say on both hers it seemed to hit some flat, fudgy spots. You wonder what's happening there, because it's hard to believe 2 takeouts didn't get those rocks out. I would have rolled out on that one, Joe.
Yeah, this is opportunity here for Team Canada to make the hit and roll and punch that red to the side. They'll be buried. And to your point, Russ, I mean, if those 2 Alberta stones aren't there in the back of the rings, it's a different story.
Yeah, exactly.
Roll into that other one and take it. Yeah, let's do it.
This isn't easy. Not a lot of space.
No.
To rock this at the top of the 8 foot.
Into the other one.
And it's the gear effect's working against you here. You're trying to hit it on the left side, but the spin wants to take it to the right. And it's not going to roll very far.
And we haven't seen huge movement off the center line either.
Little solid 10.
10. Clean.
Whoa.
10. Yep.
Whoa. Whoa. 10.
10. Curl. Curl.
Curl. Hard curl.
Curl.
Keep going.
Curl.
Keep going.
Keep going. Roll it.
There's the hit, a little roll. Sort of tucked in behind that red stone, but try and make one of these yellows go away.
That's true. It was okay.
I think half a rock is close.
Pretty good for the weight right now, the way the ice is. Yeah. Pretty good.
Need to be careful here, Joanne, that you hit this red straight back. The yellow that was just thrown by Carey sticks on the back red. It'll be probably a double for 3. Right? If this red goes straight back yellow onto that 6 o'clock rock, there's a chance.
Lots of time on the clock. Over a minute remaining. Selena Sturmay settles in. What an opportunity to knock off the defending champs. The 4-time defending champs.
Whoa. 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 Curl.
A lot of weight. And did she float this out there? Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Sorry, Carey.
Now, is the double there? It's there, but how? Okay, I'll rephrase the question, Russ. How tough is that double there for the 3?
I'm going to let you throw it.
You're pointing at Joe, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's very tough. Ideally, you throw the other turn here, Joanne, and get a little flatter roll, a little lower roll. This is very difficult.
You just wonder on that throw by Selena, adrenaline, the moment, how big the moment felt.
Bit of a quick release, and on this ice, it's going to run really straight on you. Not a gimme here, though, for Carey Einarson.
But if there's one competitor in this competition, in this country, on this planet, that can pull it off, you're looking at her. Final stone, Carey Einarson in 10, down by 3. She needs an absolute pistol to force an extra end.
Yep. Squeeze close.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whoa. 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 Yeah.
Curl. Yep.
Yeah. Curl. Whoa.
It's got to be close. They want off, then curl. There's the hit. Roll it
Touch
over.
It. Go down.
Have to touch it enough.
Really close.
So close, but not to be. And with that, Team Alberta, Selena Sturmay improving to 3-0 as they knock off the defending champs. And the 18-game round-robin winning streak of the Scotties comes to an end for Team Canada. What a story we have cooking here in Calgary. 25-year-old Skip from Edmonton. A great showing on this Sunday afternoon. It's been a fun weekend. More to come. We'll step aside.
The 2024 Scotties Tournament of Hearts is presented by Scotties Facial Tissue. Unleash the Scotties by Montana's Barbecue and Bar, Canada's home for barbecue. by BKT Tires, growing together, and by Home Hardware. Here's how.
In a final, it's BC a win 9-5 over PEI. What a story in our feature game, though. Selena Sturmay. Oh, that's awesome. My first Scotties. Well, how about a signature from the Alberta Skip after a big victory over Team Canada and Carrie Einarson. And that's why I love this sport so much. You know, you just come off a tough loss, and the time that these champions take with the crowd and the fans, it's pretty cool. All right, Pool A updated. Sturmay, Ackerman 3-0, Brown at 2-1, and just keep in mind, when it comes to the playoffs, no tiebreakers. It's the head-to-head wins, and that's what makes those 3-0 starts for both Sturmay and Ackerman so critical for Alberta and Saskatchewan. We're not done on this Sunday. Tonight, Clancy Grandy, Jennifer Jones, both 2-0. Both go head-to-head at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time as Jennifer Jones chasing after her 7th Scotties title. Insane. It's never been done before. Just a reminder, it is a special day. So many young babies across Canada have been helped by this wonderful charity, the Sandra Schmürler Foundation. Sandra was a wonderful competitor, but the legacy, my goodness, that she leaves behind. Trying to hit $1 million today. We're going to step aside from Calgary. Please join us tonight, and thank you for watching the Scotties from Calgary, Alberta.